YouTube side of things. Here we go.
No more heroes, it's hero the killer. Catch on nobody but yourself. Nothing less to do.
Travis, it's kill or be killed.
Ooh, thanks for reminding me, Hitokiri. They did recently just drop a Daredevil video for the new hero and Marvel Rivals, of course. He looked really good. I purposely avoided watching it just so I could actually, I guess, live react to it on stream. Appreciate you guys waiting through that starting soon screen. No, welcome in Nia, welcome in Batosai, anybody else who may have been lurking in the background, anyone who may have saw that murder earlier where we had somebody try to sell us some viewers and we shot them in the streets. Appreciate all you guys popping in, hanging out. Here we go, learning another character. You know, I knew a lot of people were already going to play Daredevil. He looked really fun. Yo, Bonka Owl, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you popping in. Thank you. But yeah, for everybody coming in here, everybody returning, everybody may be new, anybody who doesn't know, I'm Maximum Obesity. J.D loves me, and we talk a lot about gaming news on here. And we're going to be covering a lot of that today. Mainly, I don't know if you guys have been seeing anything going on in the gaming space lately, but if you've read the title, you know that's what we're going to be talking about today. The fact that gamers, it almost feels as if we're being priced out of our own hobby. With the whole increase in cost of subscriptions, games are like $70, $80. Consoles are going up in price. This is the first console generation in history that has gotten more expensive over time instead of cheaper over time. If you've been paying attention to like Microsoft's prices, Sony's prices, even Nintendo's prices, which is really uncharacteristic of Nintendo, well, at least is what I would have said before the Switch era. Everything's going up. The Switch 2 dropping at what, like $500? Them charging $40, $60 for remakes and games that like 10 years old, $80 for a remaster, or not even a remaster, but a port. It's really weird, really wild. If you're gonna watch it on stream, do you watch the devlog from yesterday? No, I haven't seen the devlog either. I don't know if I'm gonna watch the whole devlog, but mainly the Daredevil trailer is what I was interested in. Emma's getting a new skin. That's funny. Yeah, it seems like Marvel Rivals is kind of on an upswing right now. Mainly because we're getting a lot of new skins, a lot more people are coming back to the game, the performance has been getting better. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see long term. I'm just glad the game currently is in a better spot than it was a few weeks back. But yeah, we're gonna be covering some of this, like the EA acquisition, the everything going on with Xbox, the ROG Ally stuff, as well as some other things as well. Bringing cross progression, yeah, that I saw. I did hear about that as well. But one thing I wanted to ask is, like, what have you guys been playing? Like, what have you guys been, you know, giving your time to? Because I've been playing Mega Bonk, which, if you guys don't know, it's like a fusion of Risk of Rain 2 and Vampire Survivors. Really fun, really dope, made by one person. I don't know how long it's been taking him to make, but it's really fun. It's really fun. I've been unlocking a bunch of characters, playing it, and I think the only thing that game truly is missing is multiplayer. I think as of now, I've spent 21 hours playing it already in just the last couple of days. Ghost of Yote, I'm definitely going to be playing that too. Definitely going to be running Ghost of Yote. I want to grab it. I don't know if I'll immediately grab it. If not tomorrow or today, then like a few weeks from now. Because I want to get Sonic Crossroads Racing too. Because that game is fun, but it's also $70. $70. But yeah, like I said before, let me get into this gaming news and tell you guys a little more about what's been going on. So, if you're someone who's been paying attention or someone who's been in the know, then you have seen this as well. Xbox is raising their Game Pass Ultimate prices by 50% and changing tier features. Not only is it enough for you to get for them to charge $70 or $80 a game, not only is it enough for them to increase the Game Pass Ultimate prices, but we also have the increase the price from the ROG Ally and the Ally X, and it just seems like Microsoft is just intent on pricing gamers out of the hobby for some strange reason, because Xboxes have also increased in price, and it seems like nothing is getting cheaper. In a time where people can barely afford to live, people are getting priced out of their homes, mortgages are going up, rent's going up, the price of groceries is going up. You know what they said? You can't play video games either. That hobby you used to escape? Yeah, give us that. But let's find out more about it and at least see if we can wrap our heads around why they may be doing this, because honestly, nobody has any clue why they're doing this in the first place. So, Microsoft is making more large-scale changes to Xbox Game Pass, which is including price increases and tier changes that include the removal of current plans. Keep in mind, over the last 3 or 4 years, they've increased prices for their Xboxes a few times. This isn't even the first time the Xbox Game Pass subscriptions have gone up either. 40 plus a month for Game Pass? I think it's 30. I think they charge $29.99, but still $360 a year. Granted, they've added, well, let me read because this will add more context and more information. But in an announcement on Wednesday, Microsoft revealed it was making changes to available plans and names, pricing, and features. Moving forward, Xbox Game Pass will have Essential, Premium, and Ultimate plans, which going away are Xbox Game Pass Core and Xbox Game Pass Standard plans. Today's Game Pass Core subscribers will automatically move to Essential, Standard subscribers will transition to Premium, and Ultimate subscribers will remain in the Ultimate plan. Now imagine, think for a second. You're someone who is subscribed to Game Pass Ultimate right now, and you don't know about the price increase. Imagine how many people are going to be surprised when all of a sudden, instead of the previous price, $30 comes out of their account randomly. I know a few people that are one bad paycheck or one bad subscription away from going bankrupt currently. And this is interesting. Definitely playing Daredevil. Just watch this in four times speed. But man, as far as pricing goes, Xbox Game Pass Essential and the Game Pass Premium will remain at $9.99 and $14.99 respectively per month. Granted, this one used to be $11.99 if I remember correctly, so they've already increased the price on this once at least. But Game Pass Ultimate, however, is seeing a price increase of 50% from $19.99 to $29.99 per month. For those on PC, Game Pass, that is going up in price from $11.99 to $16.49 per month. So imagine you got all these different subscriptions, right? Let's say you're someone who plays on multiple platforms. Like you got friends on PlayStation, you got friends on Xbox. Let's say you had a PlayStation subscription to have a membership for the year, right? And let's say you wanted to do that same thing for Xbox. You can't do that anymore on Xbox. You have to buy multiple 3-month memberships and stack them that way to get a full 12 months, right? Not to mention now the Game Pass price is going up monthly. Not to mention the price of controllers are like $60. It used to be $60. A lot more of them are going towards the $80 to $100 territory now. Especially if you're someone who likes to buy elite controllers, you might be shelling out $200. But let's say you also like watching TV and like you have different shows you like watching: Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, YouTube Premium, because nobody likes ads, right? Ads are horrible. At what point do you say this is enough and I'm not paying for Game Pass anymore? Because granted, there are some diehards, there are some people who really enjoy being able to play games day one, and they might keep it, they might not. But for $30 a month, that's a steep ask for video games. If you're a kid growing up and you're trying to convince your parents to get you like Ultimate, this is probably a deal breaker for a lot of people, because it seems like slowly but surely we're getting priced out of our hobby. Slowly but surely, instead of getting like maybe 1 or 2 games a paycheck, it seems like people are having to budget in advance for any game they're gonna buy currently nowadays. Way in advance. But here's what each tier is offering. Let's at the very least go over this so people can have an understanding on like what services they're offering and what services they aren't offering per tier. If you just have the Essential tier, supposedly you're getting 50 plus games. It's playable on PC, console, and cloud. $9.99 a month. Unlimited cloud gaming, in-game benefits, including for Riot Games. So like if you play League of Legends, Valorant, That typically means you're getting access to like all the characters, all the legends, and even some of the actual cosmetics from the game too. But of course, online console multiplayer, and you can earn up to $25 a year in the store with rewards, which you used to be able to buy memberships with rewards directly, but they took that away just recently. I'm sure it's unrelated, but premium tier, 200 plus games now playable on PC, console, and cloud, $14.99 a month. New Xbox published games within a year of launch, so I'm pretty sure this is meaning you're getting your Game Pass day one games. Unlimited cloud gaming with shorter wait times, in-game benefits including for Riot Games, like I said before, so on and so forth. And you can get $50 a year in store rewards. And of course, Ultimate, this is what most people are going to buy if you're someone who goes back and forth between PC and console a lot. But this is $30 a month now. Let's see what all they're offering, what all they've added. So more than 75 plus day one games a year, including all Xbox published games day one, Ubisoft Plus classics, and EA Play included, with Fortnite Crew coming in November. Now, I know a lot of people who play Fortnite. I don't know if this would be enough to convince them to actually buy Game Pass Ultimate, especially if they don't have an Xbox already. And if you're someone who just only plays Fortnite or a few other games, I don't see you randomly going off and buying this unless you're someone who already is in the Xbox ecosystem. But of course, unlimited cloud gaming at their best quality with the shortest wait times, in-game benefits, whatever that means besides the Riot Games, and online console multiplayer, and of course you can earn up to $100 a year in store rewards. But one positive of the changes for everyone is that Xbox cloud gaming will be available in all tiers. As far as the updates to Game Pass Ultimate, Microsoft says that there will be over 75 day one games. Well, yeah, we just read that. Let me see if there's anything here that we didn't just read or look at. The announced changes to Xbox Game Pass come just weeks after Microsoft revealed that it was once again raising the prices for its Xbox consoles. Since the Series S and X released in 2020, those systems have gone up 30 to 33% in price. Now, I know most people and most corporations like to cite tariffs, but after a while, at what point do you say this is just corporate greed? And after a while, at one point do you just say, like, I'm not paying for this shit? Apparently, a lot more people have chosen not to pay for this than more people are, because normally I'm like, most people are going to buy it anyway. But this is so unpopular that people are canceling their Game Pass subscriptions in droves, so much so the website to cancel subscriptions is overloaded. The site that people are going to cancel their Game Pass subscriptions is overloaded.
It's unbelievable.
So many people saw this and decided to cancel their subscriptions that systematically they cannot cancel their subscription anymore because the website is not working currently. If this is going to show you that a lot of people are finally putting their foot down and not paying for this would be it. This is a screenshot of the website if you try to go here to cancel your actual subscription. And then here's somebody in the comments saying, when I said I wanted the 360 era back, I didn't mean $360 a year. Oh my God. But it appears Microsoft has been increasing the amount of around that they are now finding out. They are the first company that seems to be pricing themselves out of consumers. Let me repeat, this is the first company, well, not the first, because they sure won't be the last, right? But Microsoft, between the big three, Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, so far, this seems to be the first company to be pricing themselves out of a fan base, which is something you don't see every day. I'll let you guys know more about this when I find out, but yeah, so far, a lot of people, this is an unpopular change. I don't know if this will be enough to convince them to dial it back a bit, to change something. Because if they keep going in the same direction, for example, when they just recently released their ROG Ally and their Ally X being $600 and $1,000 respectively, they also introduced a controller that's almost $200 for the ROG Ally and Ally X.
It's unbelievable.
It's... What are we doing? Who's buying this? But... following the review, this is before, mind you, they unveiled the Microsoft Game Pass increase. Before they unveiled the increasing prices for their Game Pass games. Xbox already lost the console war when it came between PS4 and Xbox One because everything they have with billing the console as a TV and an extra screen to watch all your favorite shows and sports channels. When they had DRM and the fact that they wouldn't let you game share. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that entire campaign that they had for Microsoft back in the day, where they got on stage, unveiled the Xbox One console day one, and then immediately screwed over the fan base. So much so that they're still recovering from it to this day, and they don't seem to be making a comeback anytime soon because of everything they're doing now, unfortunately. Let me see if I can find the commercial. It was so bad. It was so bad. I have to show you guys. Let me see here. How many times Microsoft said TV? I have to find the video. I have to find the video so I can show you guys and give you guys the context of why Microsoft lost this war so badly. Here we go. This video is from 12 years ago, and I highlighted the press conference. This man was let go less than 5 months after he did this, after this press conference, but it was already too late because of the damage this whole press conference did for Microsoft's image. 1 minute and 40 seconds. You had to be there. TV and Call of Duty. That's the whole press conference. TV. Apparently they said TV 51 times, sports 16 times, Call of Duty 26 times. And this was Sony's answer to that because you couldn't game share. People were mainly intending for this to be a console that you watch TV on. So much so that Sony immediately capitalized on it. And here's what they ended. This was their response.
This is how you share your games on PS4.
Thanks.
PlayStation.
They killed Microsoft with that. in the PS4, Xbox One era. This is why the PS4 is rapidly outselling the Xbox One immediately. It started off on a bad foot Microsoft was never able to recover from. And for now, some reason we're seeing bits and pieces of that where Microsoft pricing people out and making their consoles and games more and more expensive. I just don't know why they're doing this. But if you remember, the Xbox ROG Ally and the Ally X are both handheld PC consoles. If you've had a Steam Deck, a Lenovo Legion Go, an MSI Claw, the original Asus ROG Ally and Ally X, the naming can be kind of confusing, but a lot of people were looking forward to this because it looked different, it looked a lot more comfortable, and it didn't have a lot of the fluff people were worried about when it came to Windows bloat, where people wanted a Windows gaming handheld that could work similar to how Steam Decks did, where you just boot it up, you immediately play your games, you can access the interface, and it was easy to play. But when people found out the price, $600 and $1,000, a lot of times it's ended up being too rich for a lot of people, myself included. But those who wanted to go all in, a controller just came out for the system, announced at almost $200. It's $189.99, which after tax, you're going into the $200 territory. And of course, the pricing in other regions is still unknown. But 1/3 of the system costs for a controller. Man, what's up, Shaggy? But as seen by, I don't know how to read this name, Billy on Twitter, the Raikiri 2 Xbox wireless controller, who named this, will sell for more than $150 US. Specifically, the high-end controller, which is compatible with the Xbox Ally, costs $199. $189, my apologies. But the controller luckily will have a lot of premium features available, like the tri-mode connectivity, back buttons, and anti-drift joysticks. For a price like this, I want the controller to carry me. I need the controller to stand on 2 legs, pop in a joystick, and then immediately like start running duos with me. But unfortunately, no release date was given for it, so it may not be out in time for the Xbox Allies launch on this October 16th. But more information on the controller can be found on the Asus website. Connecting to more than one device is a premium feature now, right? The original Raikiri controller was released in 2023 and was wire only. Since then, ROG has made the Raikiri Pro controller, which is wireless. Both controllers were well received. And seeing Raikiri 2 is the next step up. You're sure to get a bang for your buck. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this ain't for me. And it shouldn't be for y'all either, honestly. Because they're charging you $189, realistically $200, for anti-stick drift, which is a Hall effect, which we have Hall effect controllers at like $30 or $60. Keep in mind, this controller I have right here, the styled after like the OG Xbox One controller, like the OG Xbox One. This right here has a Hall effect, which is anti joystick drift, amongst other things. I paid $60 for this. I've had it since. I don't have to plug this in and work. Like it does a lot for me, right? But charging $200 for a controller is insane. Anti-stick drift, like make joysticks that don't break with standard use, right? Ay. But it seems like Microsoft isn't done because they want more of your money, because they've just unveiled, well, they themselves haven't unveiled, but we got some new updates for a console that might be coming soon. I know everybody's been talking about how the PlayStation 6 is on the horizon, Xbox's new consoles on the horizon, if they still want to do consoles after this, because it seems like they're mostly going into third party and the software, just trying to get more and more screens. So having an Xbox on your TV, having an Xbox on your phone, having an Xbox on the go with your ROG Ally or Ally X, it seems like they're trying to get away from consoles as much as possible, I guess because they've just given up on sales or competing, which is always a bad thing if you're a consumer. If a company doesn't want to compete, you should look closely at that, because clearly they're giving up. I'm gonna be clear, Xbox increasing their prices got me tight. Hey, me too. I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw the Game Pass increase, I literally, this is me internally. Now when I tell my friend I want to buy a game and he's like, just get it on Game Pass, I'm finna look at him like, please. Because one of my friends he is a salesman who is not being paid commission to sell for any of these companies. Like, he is someone who tries to come in with a good alternative, because whenever we talked about Call of Duty or any day one Game Pass game, he was the one to be like, just get it on Game Pass, just get it on Game Pass, just buy Game Pass. Come on, bro, it's only this much for Game Pass. This platform finna be $60. He finna be like, just get it on Game Pass. Ay, man. It's insane. This is why I said it feels like we're being priced out of our own hobby, because granted, this isn't the first time games have been expensive at all, right? But we have to take the time and we have to give the actual proper context for why games were expensive back in the day, right? Because people pull up the Nintendo 64, people pull up the Atari, the NES. Like, games used to be, if they adjusted for inflation, technically on paper, they would have been $90, $100 by today's standards, $60, $70 by today's standards. But keep in mind, gaming was not mainstream back then. You also at that same time, people could work one job and afford a house. People could work one job and take care of a family. People didn't have to take on 2 or 3 jobs and then call them side hustles. People could afford to quit and find a new job immediately. we have to take the context into the account. Gaming was a lot more niche, which is one of the reasons why it was a lot more expensive. Because if your game didn't work out, there was no patching, there was no updates, there was no improving the game. You just had to take it. And if people thought your game sucked, hey, you sucked. I'm sorry. Granted, some games did get better with time, and some games did get a bad rep initially, but not everybody could make a game back then. You had to go off of physical sales. You had to get a disc. You had to get some form of word of mouth going for your game. You had to pay for a TV commercial. You had to do something because people knew you were going to be in front of a TV. So marketing was a lot easier back then. You didn't have $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 you had to spend on just the marketing alone for your game, which still by today's standards is insane. It's one of the things to keep in mind that, like, yeah, gaming also almost collapsed if it wasn't saved by Super Mario. Like, Nintendo had to come in and save it because there was so much shovelware, and when it got too expensive, people stopped buying it. Like, that's also another part of the argument people forget to bring up is like, yeah, gaming also almost collapsed because of how expensive they were and because of how much shovelware was released back then. You guys remember E.T.? And games like that back then, Friday the 13th, the game, like all of those games are just kind of getting pushed out because people just wanted to make another game. There were so many copies of ET they found at the landfill. Let me see if I can find that article for you guys. We're talking about hundreds, thousands of copies at the game. Let me see right here. This brings it up. Thousands of copies of the game E.T. for the Atari 2600 were found in Alamogordo, New Mexico. I butchered that completely, but this is found in the landfill in April 2014. This is how much this game f***ing sucked. That people were not spending money on it. They had unsold copies. Granted, E.T. wasn't the end all be all, and it's not the full story, but it's just part of it, just to show you when people say like, oh, gaming was better back in the day, or this is why gaming is so expensive nowadays, it shouldn't be as much of a surprise. It's not technically the full story. Like, taking into account nowadays, someone can literally make a game in their basement and it can pop off. You don't need hundreds of thousands of dollars to develop a game. You don't need a full team. You don't need a company building. You can make a game right now on your computer, just flipping assets. You could drop $60 to make a game right now. Basically what I'm saying is these companies don't have to make every single game cost 60, 70, 80 bucks. We've seen it with Hollow Knight Silksong. They've admitted out for the first game alone, they could have retired and never made another game again because it was just the three of them for that first one initially. And Hollow Knight popped off. Baldur's Gate 3, the game that keeps on giving, is another game that, while it was a little more on the expensive side, is still offering us things to this day, even though they said they were done updating it. They just keep giving us more things. Same company that made Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2, and those games were not huge games. Baldur's Gate 3 is essentially like their magnum opus. Like, there's nothing wrong with taking a couple of smaller games and then making one big game and then going back to smaller games. We're seeing that right now with Ghost of Yotei. With Sucker Punch, most people, like, when they made sequels like Spider-Man and other games like those, their budget went from like $50 or $60 million for the first game to 200, 300 million for the second game, for the sequels and the follow-ups, right? But Ghost of Yotei, I believe it cost them 50 or 60 million to make the first one, and the second game's budget is still around that price. Like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to increase and make a whole new engine for your game. Like, remember Multiverses did that, or Splitgate, and Valorant even for some reason has gone to a new engine. Everybody's switching to Unreal now. You don't have to do this. But that's been one of my biggest issues with companies nowadays is they'll drop hundreds of millions of dollars and then be like, yes, this is why our game costs $100. This is why our game costs $80. Completely forgetting the consumer and the average person who's going to actually look at and buy these games. Well, I guess I shouldn't be too surprised because people are still buying it and saying it's too expensive at the same time.
Embarrassing.
But let's read about this new console update before I get too sidetracked and start putting on my tinfoil hat and preaching at you guys. But Xbox is officially sharing all the details about the console's newest update for September 2025, revealing several helpful... Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies. I read the headline. I thought this is them talking about their new console, but this is just a new update for their consoles. My apologies, y'all. I read the headline. I was like, let me add this. But speaking of other companies pricing out its people, betraying its consumers and fan base, let's talk about EA. So the CEO of EA has said the company values will remain unchanged under the new ownership of Saudi Arabia and Jared Kushner's, which for those who don't know, that's Donald Trump's son-in-law, investment firm. Now, keep in mind, to give you some context and some background on why so many people were worried and upset about this investment firm leaning into EA and buying EA entirely, it's because the royal family in Saudi Arabia, mainly the prince, have been involved in some controversy, let's say, right? There's that whole thing where... Oh, Shaggy, thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate that. But if anybody's wondering where this came from, because like me, it kind of came out of nowhere. 33 months in a row. Jesus, that is insane. Thank you so much, man. So anybody who's unaware of this, this purchase was part of their plan called Vision 2030. For those who don't know, it's basically Saudi Arabia's answer to all the negative criticisms facing their country in their attempt to get away from relying solely on oil for their economics and for their financials. They want to invest in more companies, want to get tourism rates up, get more people to come into the country. Essentially, the goal here is to create a vibrant society in which all citizens can chase after and pursue their passions right before getting enslaved. Because if you also don't know, Saudi Arabia has one of the highest rates of modern slavery in the world. If you're unsure, because if you go in there, you're someone who's like a migrant seeking work, you have just a 50-50 between either getting a job or being enslaved, which to some people in the American system is the same thing. However, if you're wondering like why this has been going on historically and why they're still struggling with this issue, don't be fooled by the money, by the investments, by the big giant buildings that are glowing lights, by the infrastructure they're showing, the money they're throwing in Esports World Cup, because they're not as nice as they would like you to believe, I would say. Keep in mind, while we were over here in the 60s, going towards the end of the Jim Crow era, they were just abolishing slavery. I believe 1962 is the year slavery legally ended in Saudi Arabia, and Jim Crow ended, I believe, in 1965 over here in the US. Yeah. Keep in mind, this is the same royal family that had a journalist killed. And then, you know, allegedly, I got to put that in there. Hold on. Allegedly, because we don't technically have any real proof. You know, but you know. He was highly critical of the royal family, of the prince specifically, and had made some comments that they didn't like. And it was ran by the Washington Post. Now, who else owns the Washington Post, you might add? Jeff Bezos. And if you remember around this time, that journalist turned up dead or disappeared because his body was never found, unfortunately. Jeff Bezos' affair that he was having behind his wife's back released and came out. And he alleged, after having someone look into it, that it was due to the royal family because they had exchanged some messages through WhatsApp, and he had said that after getting sent a message through WhatsApp, his phone was infected with malware, which it got access to all his texts, all his photos, all his videos, anything he had access to, and that's how they found out about his affair. And allegedly, they went to blackmail him and was said, if you don't take care of these comments they're leaving about us on the Washington Post, we're gonna leak your affair to the world. And Jeff, being the man that he is, you know, too prideful, too arrogant. Once you get that amount of money, I don't know what it is with having like amount of money and influence and power, or if it's like a certain dot that goes past in your bank account where you just start, you throw your morals out the window. But he leaked it himself instead of getting blackmailed. He pulled an Alexander Hamilton. And we're just like, I'm going to tell everybody before you can. And that is how his ex-wife became one of the richest women on the planet from that divorce. But this is this is all encompassing why people were upset about them buying out certain events and certain companies, because they've also bought Evo. They've also spent money on Esports World Cup, which a lot of people, if you're familiar with Saudi Arabia at all, they have a history of making people disappear, attacking dissenters, not being the biggest fans of people who support other religions in their country, modern slavery. They have a lot of issues, which is why a lot of people are calling it blood money whenever they go to Esports World Cup, whenever people participate in these tournaments, whenever people show any type of favoritism towards them. They're not known for being good people, essentially. The royal family specifically. Allegedly, I have to put that there. Can I add I've never been suicidal, by the way? I just thought you all should know that. But EA is saying none of its values will change underneath this regime. So let's go on to talk about it. Let's go on to actually read this. But Electronic Arts CEO Andrew Wilson says the company's acquisition by a consortium made up of Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. Keep in mind, it's part of the fund I was talking about, their plan for the future for 2030. They started this back in 2016, and 2030 is, at this point, is just around the corner. So it seems like they may have largely succeeded almost. But Jared Kushner's Affinity Partners investment firm and private equity firm Silver Lake represents a new era of opportunity, and then our values and our commitment to players and fans around the world remain unchanged. Basically, think of this deal as the devil giving himself a handshake, because EA is always for nickel and diming its employees and making employees, consumers, anybody they can. And so is Saudi Arabia at this point. They are not, what's the word for it? The most morally rich people. But Wilson shared the sentiment in a memo sent to employees shortly after the deal, valued at $55 billion, was made public. This deal's got so many people worried. BioWare is afraid they might be getting the axe, and they're working on a new Mass Effect game. But this moment is a recognition of your creativity, your innovation, and your passion. You have built some of the world's most iconic IP, created stories that have inspired global communities, and helped shape culture through interactive experiences. Everything we have achieved and everything that lies ahead is because of you. And I'm pretty sure this is the email they're going to be receiving when they get laid off. But we are entering a new era of opportunity, and this is one of the largest and most significant investments ever made in the entertainment industry. But our new partners bring deep experiences across sports, gaming, and entertainment. They are committed with conviction to EA, and they believe in our people, our leadership, and a long-term vision we are now building together. I'm not sure how much deep experience the new partners in reality and new owners bring to the table. Affinity Partners is owned by Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, who, to the best of my knowledge, is not a big video game aficionado, but does have significant financial involvement with Saudi Arabia, perhaps most notably a $2 billion investment in Affinity Partners made by the PIF, private investment fund, just 6 months after Kushner left his role as senior advisor to the president during the first Trump administration. PIF is known for being a big player in gaming and esports, with holdings directly or through its Savvy Games Group subsidiary, Capcom, Embracer Group, ESL, Nexon, Nintendo, Take-Two, and more. Keep in mind, they had ownership about almost 10% of EA stocks, and while they're known for typically being hands-off, until they aren't, we have to wait and see, because so many people are not sure about what they're going to do and what's going to happen. But it's also faced accusations that it's using these properties as a form of sports washing, which if you guys don't know, they're buying sports teams and putting money into sports to make you forget about this. You know, jangling those keys in your face, making you forget about the people they're having assassinated, silenced, executed, enslaved, and more. But yeah, distract from its human rights record, as well as more specific allegations, such as finding by multiple Western intelligence agencies that Saudi Arabia Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, also the chairman of PIF, ordered the murder and dismemberment of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. I do sincerely apologize to butcher this man's name. In 2018, if you guys don't know, that's the journalist I was talking about earlier who worked for the Washington Post. Saudi Arabia has also faced allegations of sports washing in actual sports, most notably the PIF's controversial takeover in Newcastle United FC in 2021. Now, the news which began to break yesterday has caught the gaming industry by surprise, partly because nothing about it immediately screams potential for exciting synergies, in the same way you might argue that of other megabucks deals like Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard or Sony's acquisition of Bungie, although your mileage may vary on how those have turned out. Yeah, Sony buying Bungie was one of the greatest finesses in gaming of all time. But let's just be real, right? Because they bought Bungie for Destiny 2, and Destiny 2 is on its way out. And Marathon was supposed to be the next big thing until they got called for plagiarism. So Sony basically got caught with their pants down there. But it also begs the question of what's in store for EA's non-sports games, particularly the likes of its RPG output. Still, Wilson said that all is well and predicted a bold, fruitful future for EA. This is better than my TikTok. I don't have to push the speed up. You speak ADHD speed. Oh, thank you, Bunker. I'm trying to slow down. I'm really trying to slow down. I'm really trying so hard to slow down. But I also talk for a living. And I speak to you guys, and I just read fast, and I can't slow myself down. I think it's just a personality trait of mine now. I think I'm just a fast talker. This is a gift and it's a blessing and a curse I've been gifted. Don't do it. Sometimes I speak so fast that I stop thinking, and that's a bad habit. That's the part I need to stop because I stutter so much and I'm trying to get over that. But you know, it's just one of the things I both love and like am aware that I need to work on. But I got you. Thank you for that, Blanco. Well, they went on to say their values and our commitment to players and fans around the world remain unchanged. You know, we're still going to be charging you hundreds of dollars. We're still going to be hitting you with those Ultimate Team packs. We're still going to be hitting you heavy with the RNG. Give us money. Give us money. Give us money. But with continued rigor and operational excellence, we can amplify the creativity of our teams, accelerate innovation, pursue transformative opportunities that position EA to lead the future of entertainment. Together, we'll create experiences that are bold, expressive, and deeply connected to inspire generations of players around the world to spend more money. But I find that a bit interesting too. Talk of amplifying creativity and accelerating innovation is largely meaningless, but it does bring to my mind thoughts of AI and other wonderful things and C-suite executives think or hope or wish it could do in place of actually creative people. Now, this is going to go into the AI, in which we do have another article about that, funnily enough. Because EA's new owners, heads up, are leaning heavily on AI to make some money and its huge debt go away, which seems to be like one hell of a gamble to me. Now, keep in mind, they purchased EA for $55 billion. $20 billion of that was a loan taken out by JP Morgan. But what they did was, instead of them taking out the loan in their own name, they put the loan in EA's name. Imagine somebody comes to you and says, I want to buy your company. And you're like, okay, cool. For how much? $55 billion. All right. But $20 billion of that is going in your name as debt. You're like, what? This is something they can do. And this is something companies do a lot in the past. And unfortunately, what this could mean is if EA does not find a way to get this debt off of them, do not be surprised if you start hearing about layoffs, if you start hearing about studio closures, if some of your favorite games get more and more heavily monetized. Because this is a pattern seen where a big company comes in and buys a smaller company, or two big companies make a deal like this. And if that company cannot make enough money to pay off that debt, the other company does not care because the debt is not in their name. But that debt has to go somewhere and get paid off somehow. Whether it's downsizing, whether it's closing off studios, whether it's selling off your assets, whether it's liquidating some of your assets. They won't be responsible for that debt. You will be. So your company now has to figure out how to pay off this debt from this great business decision, this great business move that you guys just had. Which, if you're someone who's on the upper echelon and a higher up, you got your money, you're getting paid. It doesn't really matter what happens to the company unless you have some type of actual stake in it. But let's go on and actually talk more about it. So if corporate consolidation, I'm going too fast. If corporate consolidation of one of the biggest entities in the video game industry by private equity, a Saudi Arabian investment fund, and a major investment firm doesn't signal a worrying future for EA, leveraging AI to further cut costs will do the trick. The $55 billion required to buy out EA includes $20 billion worth of financing in the form of a loan from JP Morgan. Not paying back that loan could result in the closure of the gaming giant, like what happened with toy chain Toys R Us. But as reported by the Financial Times, the deal is reportedly betting big on AI, cutting down operational costs for EA significantly. EA reportedly has not shouldered huge amounts of debt prior to now, and this could signal a change in business operations. It's not exactly stated how, but the Financial Times report claims that people involved in the transaction suggest AI will boost profits for the company, which will then be used to pay that debt. This AI could take the form of more efficiently managing workloads or layoffs, or it could be in the form of AI-generated art and voiceover work. This approach towards AI is not the new for EA and seemed to exist under the previous management. Just last year, EA CEO Andrew Wilson said EA's developers have a hunger to use generative AI tools and suggested it could be used to build bigger, more innovative, more creative, more fun games more quickly so that we can entertain more people around the world on a global basis at a faster rate. Translation: we want to get these games out quicker so we can get that money out your wallets quicker.
It's unbelievable.
Like every time I see a CEO tweet in gaming, all that goes through my mind nowadays is that,
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
because a lot of the times, if you just listen, if you're actually able to read and you're competent and can comprehend what they're saying to you, a lot of the times you're going to realize a lot of these people do not care about anything but money, and they are so out of touch with the average consumer. It is insane. Because if you're familiar with Borderlands, Randy Pitchford, someone needs to take that man's phone away. Saying things like it's a premium game for premium gamers, blaming everybody's systems instead of the game being unoptimized, and just so many different issues. I digress. Essentially, this is why I say it's so important to stay informed and stay in the know about these things, because as much as an incentive that we have to stay ignorant and not have to hear negative news all the time, it's so important to stay informed so that you know what these companies are doing, so that you are aware. Because like I said before, if you're someone who has no idea that Game Pass is increasing their subscription prices, or you're someone who doesn't look at their bills, whether it's for streaming, gaming, regular bills, which is something you should do often, part of being financially literate, you could be paying a lot more for these services than you even care to realize and losing out on so much money in a year. But just months prior, Wilson envisioned a world where 3 billion players were creating their own worlds with these tools. Not to mention, they said, how many players did they say they wanted for Battlefield? 100 million players? They wanted 100 million players for Battlefield 6. Keep in mind, nowadays with the increase in prices and costs for everything, companies understand that you cannot buy 5 or 6 games with a singular paycheck anymore. For a while now, they have not been competing for our money. They've been competing for our time. Because if you're sitting here playing Fortnite or playing Battlefield or playing Call of Duty all day, every day, that's less time you're spending with the competition. That's performance metrics that makes their company look better. That makes more people want to invest, at least with EA before they went private. Because if they see, oh, more and more people are playing our game, more and more people are buying the loot boxes, more and more people are spending this money, they have no incentive to change or do anything differently because they're making money and it's successful in their eyes. Because all they care about is what? Money. All comes back to capitalism. It almost always comes back to capitalism. But oversaturation seems to be prevalent in the games industry, with almost 19,000 games released on Steam last year alone. The potential of companies making more and more bigger games in shorter time frames with less bespoke art to chase an even smaller cut of the pie feels like the opposite of what I actually want for my games. Part of the problem with generative AI in games right now is the act that I'm sorry, I have to like skip past so many words. Is that it flags a lack of care. Call of Duty using AI generated calling cards at the start of the year left some users disappointed that their effort to earn a calling card was met with virtually no effort from Activision. And it's only getting easier to get a hold of AI tools as AI assets have become a calling card of low effort game development and are often left forgotten in the annals of the Steam marketplace. Which is crazy because I remember back in Black Ops 1, you were able to make your own emblems, which would be added to your calling cards. So having them take away a feature just to bring it back with generated AI would be insane. But EA Games using such assets removes that intrinsic humaneness granted by hundreds of people working towards the same goal, and only makes hundreds of real people laid off from EA projects leave them even more sour taste in the mouth. Generative AI has proven itself handy at dealing with wide swaths of data, so there are ways it can be leveraged to help businesses. But there has been a trend over the last year nebulously claiming AI will fix it and moving on. Earlier this year, a report came out suggesting AI energy demands would quadruple in the next few years, with some large data centers estimated to use up to 5 million households worth of energy. The response to this concern is that AI will have a positive impact on the environment due to the efficiency it could bring. But just last week, over a half of Japanese game studios in a survey reported using AI at some level. So it is present in the industry, but it being pitched as a tool to chip away at the mountain of debt feels like putting a horse ahead of the AI cart. We don't know how much and what extent AI is proving valuable to games companies, and it's all very early days. There are naturally productivity earnings to be had in some form, but plenty of companies have seen backlash from the use of AI. And how much will be gained from AI in contrast to the money spent to actually implement it will take some time to fully figure out. Chasing AI to deal with debt feels like a huge gamble under these circumstances. So this is just interesting. Something I found. I've been hearing more and more stuff about this, so I just wanted to keep you guys informed about that. But let's get some good news, which we do have. We do have some good news. If you're someone who's played Silent Hill F or just been looking at it kind of on the fence about whether or not to get it, it appears it's finally dethroned Silent Hill 2 as being one of the fastest selling horror games in Konami's out of the franchise of Silent Hill in general. Which is cool to see, because previously that was the Silent Hill 2 remake, which, if you don't know, Silent Hill 2 is celebrated as the best Silent Hill game of all time. And there's been more than 5. But it's no longer the fastest selling entry in the franchise, having been beaten by Silent Hill F. The newly debuted game cleared 1 million sales several days sooner than Silent Hill 2. So in just one day, it outsold Silent Hill 2. Sold 1 million copies in one day, I believe. And it's developed by Taiwanese studio Neobards Entertainment. Silent Hill F was released on September 25th, following a brief early access period available to deluxe edition owners. Now, the game has been near the top of Steam's bestsellers chart ever since, and has also appeared in the trending sections of the PlayStation and Microsoft stores across multiple major markets. Now, Konami has now framed the game's success with some official figures, stating that Silent Hill F had already cleared 1 million units sold, and while the company initially tweeted that the milestone was reached on September 27th, it later corrected the date to the 26th with 1 million sales in 24 hours, which is huge. Neobards' title has convincingly dethroned Bloober's 2024 game as the fastest selling entry in the Silent Hill franchise. Also, by the way, it seems that they're going to be remaking the first one as well. But for reference, the Silent Hill 2 remake took 3 days to reach the same milestone and has 2 million confirmed lifetime sales as of January 2025. Silent Hill F offered a 48-hour early access period for deluxe edition buyers, meaning that it technically took 3 days to hit 1 million sales. However, an identical incentive was attached to the higher edition of Bloober's game, which was available in early access from October 6th and then launched globally on October 8th. Counting early access, the Silent Hill 2 remake took 5 days to sell 1 million copies, meaning the 2-day gap between the milestones persists no matter the measuring stick. Now, the new launch sales record highlights the series' growing momentum and suggests the franchise is currently experiencing peak popularity. Now, a secondary factor that contributed to this achievement is the broader platform availability, and while Silent Hill 2 Remake was and still is a PS5 console exclusive, Silent Hill F launched simultaneously on both Sony and Microsoft's current generation consoles. Now, I also play Silent Hill 2 on PC, so it makes more sense that Silent Hill F being on the Xbox Series S and X contributed to better sales. But sales are not the only metric in which Neobards' new game has matched the Bloober's 2024 release, as the game reviewed nearly as well as the Silent Hill 2 remake, with both holding an average score of 87 on OpenCritic. The remake appears less polarizing with a recommendation rate of 95% on an aggregated platform, 8 points higher than Silent Hill F. So I thought that was interesting, just to let people know in case anybody's been on the fence. I know some people want to play Silent Hill F. A lot of people said good things about it. So I've been interested. I would love to play Silent Hill, but I'm not a person who replays games. I don't see the value in paying $70 to play a game one time for a few hours. Yeah, Bonk, I can see that. Because honestly, all you have to do is wait until a sale. Because the Silent Hill games are all short. Every single one is short. I don't think there is a single Silent Hill game that goes over like 28 or 30 hours. I could be wrong about that though, if you're counting like the spinoffs. The first game is 7 hours. So like, if I zoom in here so you guys can see, the first game is 7 hours. Silent Hill F is 10 if you just go through the story, or 15. Granted, these games are designed to be highly replayable and have multiple endings. Like Silent Hill 7, like Silent Hill 2, I almost said 7, has more than 7 different endings. Silent Hill 1, I think, just had the one. But Silent Hill 3, 6 hours, 8 hours. Silent Hill Homecoming, 9.5 hours, 11 hours. The original Silent Hill 2, 8 hours. Silent Hill 4, 9 to 10 hours. Shattered Memories, the spinoff, 7 hours. Origin, 6. Downpour, 9. The Short Message, which is another spinoff they had, 2 hours. There's a remake of the first one coming out. PT, the demo, was 1.5 hours, technically. Book of Memories, 18.5, because I think this is a PS Vita spinoff that played more like Diablo. The arcade game is an hour long. The HD collection, 14 hours. These are not long games. They're meant to be replayed and continuously going through. But I get it. If you're paying $70 for a game to play it one time, because a lot of people are not going to come back and play this game again, I get it. I get it. It's becoming increasingly harder and harder to justify purchases like these, because this is why I say it feels like gamers are getting priced out of their hobby. If you're just someone who's going to play a game one time and put it down, or you might play it a couple times with your friends, I'd be pissed. Imagine being a kid in today's economy, going up to your parent being like, hey mom, can I get the new Silent Hill F game? Or, you know, you're trying to get a birthday gift. And you know, they're like, sure baby, how much is it? $70. I know if my parents were spending that much money on a game, they would have been like, if I asked for a new game anytime soon, they would have looked at me some type of way. They would not have been happy. This would have been like the only game you're getting for some people until like Christmas or something, man. Like, imagine buying a game nowadays for $70 and it doesn't work. Your PC can't run it. Or you get it for the wrong platform. Like, imagine, I could not fathom being a grandparent in this day and age trying to buy my child an Xbox. Imagine being like somebody, you're like, let's say you're in your 70s, you're past your prime, you've been around the block a few times, but you're not that knowledgeable about the gaming space. Your grandbaby comes up to you and is like, yo, I would like a new Xbox. Because you know, grandparents always love giving their grandkids presents. I don't know what it is, but at least most of them do. Not every grandparent's built the same, but most, they like spoiling their grandchildren. So imagine your kid's like, I want to get a new Xbox. And you go as someone who doesn't know anything about the gaming space. You see the Xbox One, the Xbox One X, the Xbox One S, the Xbox Series S, the Xbox Series X, the 1 terabyte version, the 2 terabyte version, the 512 gigabyte version. Which one do you buy? The ROG Ally X, the Xbox Ally X. What do you do? Yeah, when your kid asks for Hogwarts on release and play for 2 hours, never again. Like, man, I can't fully fault kids because they just don't understand the value of money. Not every single one. Of course, depending on the age. Of course, you know, if you as a parent can tell them about money, but who as a parent wants their kids to grow up faster, you know? Who as a parent wants to have to sit their kid down super early and explain to them like, yeah, this is how money works. This is bills. This is everything we have to contribute our money to, because it might inspire a sense of guilt in your child. Not saying for you specifically, Bonk, just talking in general here, because some people have to sit their kids down and have that conversation. And some people would rather have their kids stay kids a little while longer, that be able to be like, don't worry about it. We'll get it. Right. But then, of course, there always comes that time where you have to give your kid more and more responsibility as they get older and fully explain to them how finances work. And it might shatter the illusion of that your kid has to be like, my parents can't afford everything. Because as a kid growing up, you might think, unless you know otherwise, that your parents can afford a lot more than what they actually can because they're making it happen, because they're making sacrifices for you that you don't see. And as a kid, once you know, there's no taking that back. Which is why I think a lot more people in the gaming space are being priced out, because at what point is it like, okay, I can't afford this, we can't buy this, we can't do this? And at what point is it like, do you have the money to actually buy a console for your child? Because this conversation with the current state of the world right now is happening a lot sooner rather than later now. Because a lot more people are having to sit their families down and be like, hey, gaming is becoming more and more of a privilege now. When COVID hit and everybody was staying inside, like gaming blew up. Gaming fully became mainstream. It was no longer niche. It no longer became, oh, you're playing video games. No, it became, oh, what game are you playing? Oh, you're playing Halo. Hey, let's go run, like, let's go run 2K. Let's go to the rec. Let's go do this. Let's play Madden. Let's play, Call of Duty. Let's play, GTA, anything. So many people got into the hobby, and now it seems like we're being priced out right after it exploded because of corporate greed. So if you're someone who now has to pick your games sparingly, a lot of these games you have to miss out on now, because $70 for a 15, 20 hour, 10 hour game, a game you might finish in 5 hours, that buyer's remorse hits hard. You have to think about how hard the average consumer is working just to make ends meet, just to come home and get twerked on and nated on a Fortnite. Imagine getting down and some 5-year-olds dug in on you, yelling at you because he had the better gaming chair. You just got done slaving away that 12-hour shift. It happens, man. This is why you have those stories of people being like playing Call of Duty in proximity chat, like somebody gunned down someone in Warzone, and then he was talking trash to him, and he's like, "Oh man, you got me. I just not as good as I used to be." And back in the day, he was probably doing the same thing, like when he was 16, when he was 20, playing video games. And now, as someone who's like an adult, because the average gamer nowadays is 35. The average gamer nowadays is in their 30s. So we're losing the amount of time we have to just sit there and play games all night. So it's one of those things, like, as we get older, at what point do you say things are too expensive? At what point do you have to be like, I'm not buying this game? I think companies are trying to find that out right now, how much they can get away with nickel and diming the consumer, how much they can get away with pricing the next game on like $80, $100. How many copies will your game sell? How much can you increase the price until people say, no, I'm not doing this? That is what they're testing us for right now. That is what Xbox is doing. Well, really, realistically, I don't know what Xbox is doing with these prices because I can't explain it. But let me go on before I keep ranting. Something that came out of left field, just like the EA buyout, is we might be getting a new Lord of the Rings game. Specifically, a new third-person Lord of the Rings action game. Oh, man. Yeah, it's, what year is it, Nia? Sources close to the game tell Insider Gaming that the new title is said to be at least partially funded by the Abu Dhabi Investment Office. Now, this funding should roughly equate to $100 million, give or take. The deal has been in the works since last year and not signed yet due to the number of moving parts is said to be made official soon and could happen as early as next week. Now, regarding current funding of the game's development, it has been funded internally so far, but as far as what the game will be, sources don't want to say too much. What it was said, however, is that it will be a third-person action game that is designed in a way to compete with Hogwarts Legacy. Now, in addition to the audio, I'm going to just say audio, it was said that the multiple parties were involved in the game that include Embracer, Revenge, and other studios. Embracer has had the rights to the Lord of the Rings IP for video games since 2022 when it paid nearly $400 million. It has since licensed out those rights to other companies to produce titles, including the much maligned Lord of the Rings Gollum. Yeah, I'm gonna need them to take the license away. I'm gonna need them to take the license away expeditiously, because if they license Lord of the Rings Gollum being made, they don't deserve it. But this is a good sign. Now, when contacted for a statement, Embracer said that a general rule is we do not comment on rumors or speculation. Revenge, one studio said to be involved with the game, also declined to comment on rumors and speculation. So it sounds like the deal is in the talk and they don't want to say anything until everything's been finalized. They don't want to give people false hope, because that could also blow back on them, because their shareholders hear that a big business decision is going through, that you're developing a game and all of a sudden it falls through. That could, make your stock prices plummet. But it's a rumor so far. Granted, might be happening, might not, so take it with a grain of salt right now. But I do know, what was the last Lord of the Rings third-person action game? Was it Aragon's Quest? Was it Return of the King? Return of the King, there we go. That's what it was called. Some of these Lord of the Rings games are fire. Some of them were fire. I don't know if anybody remembers playing the RTS spin-off Battle for Middle-earth. That one I really enjoyed too. But like these games were fun. Like this right here for the time on a PS2, this was great. Lord of the Rings Conquest, I believe that's what it was called. No, wait, no, I'm misremembering. There were two games. There was Conquest and then there was Battle for Middle Earth. But yeah, a new third-person action Lord of the Rings game will be fire. I'm a nerd, so I love it. But we've been talking a lot about business, a lot about Call of Duty, a lot about Battlefield, a lot about other different shooters. So it's only fitting that we got to cover some Black Ops 7 news, which apparently it's building towards the most advanced and robust anti-cheat, requiring players to enable secure boot for the beta. Now, this could be good news for you or bad news for you, depending on whether or not you wanted to play Call of Duty on PC. Because if you're someone who wants cheaters to stop being a thing, I know a few people who constantly go into Warzone. They run into somebody using wall hacks. They run into somebody using an aimbot. Anti-cheat isn't quite working how it should. And Warzone has a huge cheater problem. It's one of the shooters that has the most cheaters in it currently, I think, due to popular belief. Because most people just play Call of Duty. And with any free-to-play game, you're going to have a lot of cheaters regardless. But they're trying to adjust that. They're trying to actually take that feedback and knowledge and lessons from the past to try and help it with Black Ops 7 cheater problem in advance. The problem with that is with secure boot is just like with Battlefield 6, a lot of people are scared to go into their BIOS. Not everybody can turn on secure boot. And for those who have tried, some of them have ended up bricking their PCs. So I imagine they're not going to be very thrilled to hear about they have to deal with the same exact issue now. And if you're someone who doesn't have a console now, but consoles getting even more and more expensive, and let's say you wanted to like, I guess for, you know, different purposes, wanted to get like a Steam Deck or a PC handheld because you wanted to try it there instead of like on the main system like this. Because Black Ops 7 is going to be on PS4 and last gen, so it technically should run on a Steam Deck. Maybe, maybe not. Those are expensive too. So it's either, if you don't want to do this on Xbox, you spend way much more money than you were planning to on an Xbox, or you buy a PlayStation. And you're still going to have to pay for online, still buy the game, and still get a new controller if you don't buy a bundle. Let's cover some more news. Let's read deeper into it. So the beta is just days away, scheduled to kick off on October 2nd for early access players and October 5th for everyone else, ahead of the game's official release on November 14th. However, before you jump in and check it out, Activision wants to make sure you got all your ducks in a row, and by ducks, I mean secure boot. Now on PC, the Black Ops 7 beta will require TPM 2.0, Trusted Platform Module, and secure boot. We're building towards the most advanced and robust anti-cheat protection players will find in gaming, starting with the beta on October 2nd for early access and October 5th for all players. Oh, my voice is so dry today. But if you played any of the open Battlefield 6 betas, then you'll know just how much of a pain secure boot can be. It's a UEFI firmware that prevents any unauthorized software from running while your PC is starting up, ensuring only verified and uncompromised software can load. It's also what publishers like EA and Activision use for their own anti-cheat, in this case Ricochet. We're striking cheat makers and sellers from every angle, in-game detections that stop them cold, and legal action that dismantles their operations. The blog post says that we're not stopping there. Significant continued improvements to our systems are coming, and including those that detect the external hardware. Now, the launch of Black Ops 7 marks the beginning of a new phase for Ricochet anti-cheat, and we enter it armed with stronger systems and unwavering commitment to game protection and cheat prevention. Now, it may not sound like a big deal, but it is a real pain for players who either don't or can't have it enabled, or those who simply dislike the idea of highly intrusive kernel mode anti-cheats. Think of like your Riot Vanguards and other cheat systems like that, because a lot more companies are converting to this because cheating is getting so out of hand. So they're in an arms race right now. Anti-cheat makers are currently constantly trying to find new ways of stopping cheaters, and cheaters are currently constantly trying to find different ways of getting past anti-cheats, which means it was only a matter of time before anti-cheats started going into kernel level access to get to kernel level cheats. But then it also has the idea that if some people get their anti-cheats compromised and it already has access to your system's kernel, that you're just giving basically hackers and people who cheat a free ride into your kernel level system access and stuff like that. It's what some people are theorizing. Some people have been calling it Chinese spyware, and amongst other things, players essentially are not happy about this, right? And it's very little restriction on top of that. But it can occasionally lead to unexpected heart headaches, as we saw in August when Javelin anti-cheat in the Battlefield beta butted heads with Riot's Valorant anti-cheat. which is not a problem most of us are likely to encounter, but also something that shouldn't be ignored. But unfortunately, if you're using an older PC which doesn't support UEFI or secure boot, you're kind of screwed, as there's not a whole lot you can do to get games that require these two features to run. It's also frustrating that even Battlefield 6 technical director Christian Bull admitted that I wish we didn't have to turn on secure boot, but it's just the reality we live in now, with secure boot likely becoming more commonplace for games like Battlefield and Call of Duty going forward. Let me blow my nose real quick. Geez, now I know why rappers and singers have to like drink so much water because they spend so much time singing and talking. But that all being said, when it comes to them dealing with cheaters, things like wall hacks, aimbot, seems Call of Duty is also trying to attack that problem in a different way. Instead of attacking cheaters and wall hacks, it seems like Call of Duty wants to give you wall hacks. Black Ops 7 has a wall hack kill streak. I repeat, Black Ops 7 has a wall hack kill streak. So much so that this has gotten people in a frenzy of criticism. And a lot of people are arguing that isn't the point of kill streaks is that they're supposed to be unfair. Now, this sniper rifle has a thermal scope, which a lot of people already dislike the thermal scope in general already. This one can shoot through cover. And you can also call in a napalm strike. So let's look at this video, right? If you're someone who isn't in the know, this clip is going viral currently. I saw this just yesterday. And I knew I had to talk about it. I knew we had to bring it up. This is what you're seeing. It's the moment you open the scope, look at where he's at. It's not like you get an indication of where he is on a map or anything, I guess, except for when he shoots, but this is gonna piss a lot of people off.
Hey, if y'all want to show me, just let me go. Hey.
And it doesn't like you have to be super duper accurate either. I don't know if there's some type of indication on where people are, but this is crazy. Look at how long this lasts.
I don't know what I'm using, bro. This is G8, you think? I got another one too.
Did you hear him say he has another one too?
No!
That is crazy. That is crazy. It seems like Battlefield and Call of Duty are going in two different directions again, I would just like to say, because a lot of common criticisms Black Ops used to get back in the day. Granted, Call of Duty fans don't know what they want. They would say they want boots to the ground gameplay. They want the game to be a little slower. They don't want people to be able to slide around everywhere like how they're always doing, drop shotting, and doing pretty much anything under the sun. As someone who wants a more grounded experience in the military shooter, I'm not, honestly, it's not unprecedented. I'm not honestly super surprised by this. But I just wonder what people generally are going to be thinking about this and how many people are going to be put off the game by this. They've had so many unavoidable death kill streak things over the years, it doesn't matter. Remember calling in dogs? Yeah, it just makes me wonder how people are going to be taking this. Because they've done some absurd things over the years. We had dogs. We had the dog and ghosts. We've had the little mobile tank things, which we're getting back in Black Ops 7 now. By the way, what's up, Rage? Thank you for popping in. It's... I don't know. I don't know. But if you're someone who's like constantly battling cheating... and you're constantly trying to get people to avoid using wall hacks and aimbot and stuff like that, and this people are just gonna run wild with this, right? Because I will admit, Call of Duty is one of those, like the fan base for Call of Duty, it's one of the most fickle fan bases on the planet. You give them boost to the ground gameplay, they say it's too boring. You give them gameplay in space with exosuits and everything, like how people have been asking for and begging for. By the way, Titanfall 2 is like $2 if you want to get that. Has all of those things and more. If you're someone who's been begging for boost to the ground gameplay, then they give it to you. Then you say it's too boring. You're someone who's been begging for more futuristic gameplay, more interesting gameplay. They give it to you. You say it's too much. I think Black Ops 6 had a good base, surprisingly enough, because I thoroughly enjoyed playing Black Ops 6, right? But now it seems like they might be leaning heavily into that direction again of the absurd. So I'm wondering what their plan is here long term. Fanbase of COD is literally just chasing the dragon of childhood nostalgia. Yeah, I definitely agree. A large portion of them are. I just wonder what's going to happen, because with Battlefield 6, it seems to be giving people, they're going back to the roots, of course, right? Battlefield 6, they're going a lot closer to how Battlefield 4 was, Battlefield 1, Battlefield Bad Company, that style of gameplay that people loved. And it seems like, not saying they're automatically going to outsell Call of Duty and kill Call of Duty, but it seems like this year, they're going to be the better game for people seeking a more grounded experience. Which I'm all for more competition. I'm all for people having different experiences they can get into. I'm just wondering what this bodes for Call of Duty long term. But this is a clip from yesterday's Call of Duty Black Ops 7 event, and it's attracting the ire of onlookers who seem to feel that Call of Duty has this time gone too far with wacky gadgets and guns. Like Rage said before, this isn't the furthest they've gone, and they've had things that are just absurd back in the day. But I am curious to see how far is too far this time around. But this is Call of Duty Pro Simp using one of Black Ops 7's new kill streak rewards, the Gravemaker, a sniper rifle whose wielder can see and snipe through solid walls. Granted, he was able to get another one after he used the first one, but the go-to joke is that Activision has given up on combating cheaters and decided to just put up wall hacking into the game. I think that's more so what has people angry and what has people upset, is because they're talking about fighting cheaters and going against cheaters. I don't necessarily think it's the kill streak itself, because people who play Call of Duty have shown they're all for the absurd. I think it's more so putting in perspective that you're saying you're fighting against cheaters, and then you turn around and give us wall hacks. Having a thermal scope already was one thing in past games, but now having a thermal scope that you can charge and shoot people with through walls, alongside the issue that people already feel strongly about campers in your game, and the fact that he was able to get another one, I think that is the important context for an issue like this. I think that's why people are upset. I think that's what gets people angry. Big map loaded up AI soldiers and players, small map and BR, honestly different audiences. For sure. But you have a lot of people who are casuals in the gaming space who look at these games as both the same thing. Like, granted, they're two different experiences, but if you go up to the average consumer and just talk about Call of Duty and Battlefield, most of the time they're going to be looking at them as two shooters who are in the same space. That's the thing here, because a lot of people aren't as knowledgeable. Like, your average gamer is looking for a good game, is looking for a good shooter. So optics and first impressions are everything. If you put this in a casual's face and tell them, oh yeah, this is what happens in Call of Duty, and then show them a clip of something happening in Battlefield, it's gonna give the wrong first impression for somebody who's just seeking to play a shooter and have fun in a shooter. Granted, it's fun if you're the one doing it, but again, like, a lot of people are just looking at these from a fun perspective. Like, Call of Duty and Battlefield, they overlap a lot more than most people would think, because a lot of people just want a fun shooter to play with their friends. So if you're looking at this and you're seeing wall hacks versus people running in vehicles and, you know, going around, which again, I agree, they're for two different audiences, but to the casual, a lot of them aren't looking that deeply into it. That is true as well. Which is why I think they also have like modes like Rush and stuff like that, which are like 10 minutes at a time. Like, nowadays, like, they're overlapping a lot more than most people would give them credit for, because there are shorter modes in Battlefield 6. They're a lot more fun to play, a lot high octane action, a lot smaller, but also have that grand scale if you needed to. Which is one of the reasons I think so many people are playing Battlefield now, because so many people have Call of Duty fatigue, and that's something that even the developers themselves are aware of. Like, a lot of people are just tired of Call of Duty, which is why a lot of them who are in that same audience are giving Battlefield a shot this year, because Battlefield 6 looks really good this year. And that's what's getting people to kind of like hop from one market to the other. There's still going to be that same core audience that plays Call of Duty and nothing else for sure. And that same core audience that plays Battlefield 6 and nothing else for sure, because they already have that taste and think they want to. This is going to catch a lot of people who are on the fence or a lot of people who are very casual. But this article even goes on to say, like, how is this less fair than someone calling in an attack helicopter or carpet bombing part of the map? Like we said earlier with the napalm strikes. And some of these games you can call in a tactical nuke a whole nuclear bomb. Granted, the specific post I've shared is directed at the pro scene. GA refers to the gentleman's agreement not to use certain guns or abilities that have been deemed harmful to competitive play. And maybe this is something the pros will balk at. To me, though, it just looks like another thing better players will kill me with. It appears that you get 9 bullets and so with perfect aim can score 9 kills, which is a lot, but other streak rewards can also do the same job. Black Ops 7 will include the usual cold-blooded perks so you can hide from thermal optics, so it appears there is some counterplay here. I do agree that kill streaks and score streaks are annoying in general, but I liked them way back in the original Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare because they were novel, and there were only a few of them to deal with. But these days, I'd welcome streak-free playlists where I don't have to be bullied by exceptional players who spend a quarter of the match shooting me from a helicopter. They used to have these. They did used to have these, but I'm wondering what's happening to them. Battlefield makes people feel good about a high kill count. Never mind they pop in AI, but it feels like gap for casuals getting destroyed in COD. Well, granted, you know, either or could happen, right? Anybody feels good for playing a game and doing good in the shooter. But again, to each their own. Like I said, I'm someone who plays both, but I think with stuff like this, if you're someone on the fence or if you're someone who's very casual, it'll definitely get a lot of people looking at least in Battlefield's direction or entertaining other shooters, because most of the time a lot of people just want shooters to play with their friends. That's really it. But the response here is probably more about vibes than anything. A wall hack sniper rifle is yet another prompt for Call of Duty fatigue to declare that they're throwing in with the Battlefield crowd this year. This is mainly what I think this article is addressing. Those who are tired of Call of Duty, who want more of a grounded experience, and with them saying they're attacking cheats, having something that is the equivalent of wall hacks is going to strike a lot of people a certain type of way. But EA has smartly been playing out the idea that Battlefield 6 offers a more grounded take on Modern Warfare. But I don't think Battlefield has ever been something I call grounded, but Call of Duty got so loaded up with live service cruft and goofy crossover skins. That's another thing too we have to take into account too. Nicki Minaj, Beavis and Butthead, Homelander. Not saying Battlefield has never had anything out of the sort, but for those who are seeking a more grounded experience and those who are tired of Call of Duty, that's what Battlefield is banking on this year specifically. And this wall hack kill streak is gonna push that crowd away towards Battlefield. But they go on to say that it wasn't a hard reputational battle for EA to win. It just had to not give Beavis and Butthead starring roles in Battlefield 6. And Activision has started to change its tune on premium skins, but for the near future, I don't know that it has that much hope of escaping the narrative that Call of Duty jumped the shark. But as Morgan just pointed out, it doesn't help that Black Ops 7 hasn't blown us away so far. I remain a sucker for COD's particular style of shooting, so I'll check it out. But I doubt I'll ever be good enough to earn this fancy sniper rifle. If I do, I guarantee that some kind of kid will bound a corner and no scope me before I even get a chance to look down at thermal sight. So it's interesting. I just wanted to put that in perspective for what Call of Duty and Battlefield, kind of like the comparison between the two currently is. But speaking of another shooter that seems to be on its way out, not saying that Black Ops 7 is, but it's on a downturn at least. Destiny 2. Most of their top streamers are leaving the boring FPS in a mass exodus, and I don't know if the game can recover. Granted, boring is what a lot of top streamers, a lot of people playing Destiny have been calling it right now. Granted, if you are knowledgeable about anything going on with Bungie, it seemed like they were really banking on Marathon. Like, it seemed like Marathon was supposed to be their transitional game going from Destiny. Marathon was their big live service game, their big live service title, their extraction shooter. Until the plagiarism hit, a lot of people saying the game just didn't feel as fun compared to something like Arc Raiders, which is another game releasing in October. It seems like Bungie just can't catch a break. But Destiny 2, they say, is basically like a cockroach with its ability to survive and weather the angriest of community sentiment storms. But now I'm not so sure anymore. Destiny hasn't felt engaging for a long time. I agree. Like, granted, Destiny 1 itself wasn't doing the best when it came out until the Taken King expansion hit. If that expansion hadn't hit and did what it did for Destiny, we might not even be having this conversation about Destiny 2 right now. That expansion saved the game. And Destiny 2, while it started off on a good foot, it seems like everything else they've been doing has kind of like been killing the game with vaulting content, vaulting weapons, and other DLC people paid for to their new releases and stuff, just kind of being uninspired and not really giving people too much to work towards, or at the very least being a grind that takes way too much time. First Destiny was hot garbage. 4 hours of content set on repeat when it was marketed as the world's first FPS MMO. Right. And that wasn't even true. Granted, they themselves did not initially call it an MMO. They themselves did not call it originally an MMO, if you guys remember that. What is it? They called it a shared world looter shooter. Because they admitted they only kept calling it an MMO because other people kept calling it an MMO. I want to see if I can find the article. Let me see if I can find it. I want to find more than just the AI summary because I literally saw it. Bungie even, yes, shared world shooter. That's what they're going for. This is the AI summary about it. If I can find the article, I can actually give you guys the article. But early on, what's up, Dana? Early on, they originally resisted calling it an MMO, preferring terms like shared world shooter or action shooter to avoid negative connotations associated with MMOs, such as mandatory subscriptions, rigid traditional structures. This is before a lot of other companies stopped doing the whole subscription-based MMO. Like this is before Guild Wars 2 threw it off. This is before WoW had other options, Final Fantasy 14 and other games like those, before they stopped charging people money and monthly subscriptions. Granted, WoW still does, but a lot of other companies, WoW included, started offering alternatives to MMOs so people weren't being billed monthly to play their games. That's why they never wanted to call Destiny an MMO until the fans kept calling it an MMO. But yeah, they originally wanted to call it an action shooter or shared world shooter. And this unfortunately got tied into their marketing, so people kept slapping the label onto it. But yeah, they wanted to call it a unique blend of shooter mechanics and shared world experiences to describe the interaction between players in public spaces. Because people will furiously argue with you about Destiny being an MMO or not. Because it's not. But, you know, we're here now, right? But after the launch of the Edge of Fate DLC in July, it truly feels like the game is at a low point. And there have been many of those throughout the franchise's 11 years, beginning with Destiny 1 in 2014. The series has had massive updates to reinvent itself and reignite player interest, but things feel bad and just hard to come back from now. And I say this as a loyal player who's been there from the very beginning. Like I played Destiny. I like Destiny for what it was and the experiences it brought people. Like, I'm not doing this to... Thank you for actually finding the article, Rage. Funnily enough, I follow Games Radar too. Yeah. But if anybody else wants access to this article, I'll also like... Well, Rage just dropped it in the chat for anybody wanting to read it. So if you guys want to like take a look at that. But it's gotten so bad that multiple content creators who have based their careers around the game have been forced to move on. It's not new either, but it only exasperates how truly dreadful the overall vibes around the game has been lately. But somehow it feels worse and more serious this time around. 12-year-old article? Yeah. I knew it was from a while ago. But top Destiny 2 streamers such as Dotto, Glad, and Journator Jake, just a few of the seemingly large number of players who are leaving the game as a hobby behind for other things, at least for the time being. Content creators playing other things won't spell the end of the game themselves, but they are a symptom of many greater issues. This past weekend, Destiny 2 hosted a race for the recent Desert Perpetual raid featuring a new epic modifier that changed up encounters and added difficulty, but a perennial raid racer like Glad was nowhere to be found. And he goes on to say that when I think about getting on a practice of competing in a raid, I just feel empty inside. Jesus. Granted, content creators aren't everything, and just because a big content creator or two leaves your game, it's not immediately the end of the world. But if they're leaving your game in droves, and a natural sentiment that your players have is that the game isn't fun or that they're not having a good time, it's a bad sign. It's not a good thing, I would say at the very least. But so many other games, he says, excite the shit out of him. And Destiny 2 just brings his vibe down. The game feels bland as to play, Jesus, and often feels like even more of a chore now. You never want to feel like that. You never want to make your players an MMO or anything like that, like they feel as if their time isn't being respected and like you're giving them homework. Because at times, if you're doing just dailies and weeklies and monthlies in the game, it can feel like the game gave you homework. You're logging in, get through the season pass a little bit, and not just because you want to play the game. That's one of the ways games are monopolizing our times nowadays, because games aren't just competing for your money. They're competing for things like your storage space and your time, which is the one thing you never get back. Time is our most valuable asset. Feels weird when your chosen entertainment feels like a soul vampire. Exactly. But he continues saying that Destiny 2's new power grind is boring, which is the recently released portal and loot system. Yeah, can you guys elaborate on what exactly the portal and loot system is to me? I'm uninformed on the topic. I haven't played Destiny 2 since they released what the Witness. I can't even tell you the last expansion I played for real, man, because that's just kind of how forgetting it was. It's the one that got people to start flinging around and use Spider-Man powers. I think it was Strand, it was called. I enjoyed that a little bit, and then I stopped playing because the amount of grinding you had to do to even get there. I just couldn't buy in.
J.Deep says, speaking of struggling around you, man, is it hard to keep my hands to myself. I just want to trace every inch of that body. It rivals that of the Greek gods. If I could rewind time, I'd have Michelangelo fashion a life-sized build of your body at full chub for my personal collection. For science purposes, of course. Wink wink.
Full chub. Oh, so strange. Oh Lord, not my. Yay, yo, that emo, is that Usopp? That is Usopp. Oh God. What Jay wouldn't give to sniff that chair, or be it someone's girlhood is triple. This sounds like somebody would write in a BL in a BL manga, Dana. Good Lord. You know that one moment from what is it? Not Hey Arnold, SpongeBob, where Sandy's staring at Gary. She's like, he has such a way with words. I think that's what people are saying about Jay, because he does. This man is truly gifted. This man is truly gifted. Like, I'm getting hot. Wait, not like that, not like that, not like that. Like, I'm sweating because my heart rate is going up because I'm increasingly embarrassed. Let's move fast. Let's move fast. Let's read the article. Let's read the article, right? Oh, yeah, babe. Don't fall into the trap. I'm trying not to. Like, I slipped and fell. Hey, yo. But you said the loot system is very grinding now to get any gun you want. God. So let me go forward. Saying that Destiny 2's power grind is boring. Yeah, it is interesting enough to engage someone like me who wants an interesting grind and chase. Now, a lot of people cite Warframe as being very grindy because that was like one of Destiny 2's main competitors. I will say Destiny 2 was doing better, but for Warframe, I enjoyed the grind for a hot minute. Because I don't have a problem with a grind in the game, right? You want to give your time to something, you want to spend time doing whatever, having fun with the game. Hey, more power to you. But if the grind is not fun and starts feeling more and more like a chore, people will refuse to grind the content. People will refuse to engage with the content. People will not play your game. They go on to things that are a lot better and have a lot more rewards and a lot more interesting. Yeah, I stopped playing Warframe for a similar reason, because after a while, I kept getting locked out of content to play with my friends. Like, in order to do Steel Path, which is like their equivalent of an end game, Warframe still technically doesn't have an actual end game. You have to beat every single mission in the star chart, even the ones you don't want to do. And that was a grind I did not enjoy doing. But the payoff was doing Steel Path. And what is the Steel Path, you might add? Doing the same star chart at higher levels for more gear. But I, at very least, had a lot more fun grinding it early. But nowadays, I stopped playing because the grind stopped being a lot more fun and it started feeling like a chore. I started having to do certain missions to get certain materials, and I'm like, well, I'm not having fun doing this. I'm not enjoying it. taking 3 days to unlock one more frame as you have all the pieces is not fun to me. Granted, you were able to offset the grind by having platinum and selling stuff in the shop, but still, it got boring. And yeah, the open world launch was super buggy. And once you get all the frames you want, there's less and less of an incentive to actually play the game because the grind itself is just not that fun. Destiny just grinds because of poor design. Yeah, at least these games these games have the principle to... Let me think about what I'm going to say before I say it. These games, at the very least, originally were fun to justify the grind being grindy. But it seems as the games went on, they got more grindy and the developers forgot about the most important aspect, which is fun. You're playing a video game. This should not feel like a job. And if at any point it starts to feel like a job, give me something that at the very least makes my time that I've spent into your game feel rewarded. That's going away more and more now. But let's see on what else he said. He said, I just cannot sit there and chase tier 5 loot with the current system or increase my level above 500, especially after playing something like Borderlands where the most interesting loot is thrown at you regularly. So Grenader Jake also, meanwhile, has built his channel off of streaming Trials of Osiris on weekends, helping gamers obtain PvP greatness. A few days ago, he put out a video explaining why he won't be playing it for this season, meaning he won't be back until the new DLC comes out in December, just like Dado. But I have to agree with the streamers, Destiny 2 feels like a lot more like a slog than ever before, and that has to do with the power grind feeling meaningless, a lack of week-to-week story content like previous years had, and intense competition from several other live service games. That's another thing too. With as expensive as things are getting nowadays, as many games are coming out every day, it's becoming harder and harder justifying giving something your time that doesn't deserve it, giving your money to something that doesn't deserve it. Like this game of the year contender for 2025, this is one of the most competitive games I've seen in gaming for game of the year in a hot minute. But if we look at big games to release, we got Expedition 33, we got Split Fiction, Ghost of Yote is coming out. We got Battlefield 6 coming out in a few days. I don't think it should be out there, but Black Ops 7 is probably going to be in contention for game of the year contender because it's coming out soon. Like that's just to name a few. Megabonk came out of nowhere, so that might get knighted as indie game of the year because that blew up. Let me look up games released in 2025 just to give you guys like an idea. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Doom the Dark Ages, I forgot about that. Metal Gear Solid, the remake. Well, I don't think the remake should be in the conversation. Borderlands 4 might get knighted. We had South at Midnight, which was dope. I don't think it'll win game of the year, but that's another game that came out that was really fun. Dying Light the Beast, I've been playing. I don't think it'll be game of the year, but some people might vote for it. Some people might feel differently than I do. Mario Kart World will more than likely be up there because Nintendo, if there's one thing their fans love more than paying for overpriced games, it's licking Nintendo's boots. They can't help it. They cannot help it. But Shinobi Art of Vengeance, I remember you told me about that game, Rage. Jay's been playing it. You know, whenever he's not coming in here, you know, dropping peak, he is actively playing Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Like, to get someone like him to go through whenever he's busy in between doing what he's doing, to get him to sit aside and spend time playing this game, as well as other people to come out, like, this is a game that's special. Hades 2. Almost forgot about Hades 2. Sonic Racing Crossroads, that'll be in the conversation. The Altars, that'll be in the conversation. Silent Hill F, while it is $70 and it is short, some people, hey, they've been saying it's their game of the year. The first Berserker Kazan, forgot that also came out this year. The remaster for Final Fantasy Tactics, Mafia the Old Country, Donkey Kong Bonanza. That should be there. Donkey Kong Bonanza absolutely should be in the game of the year contender. Crossroads officially out? I believe so. I believe that game is officially out. I was gonna end up buying Kiera a copy, Dana, for her Switch, because it's also on the Switch 1 and it'll be on the Switch 2. Yeah, it came out the 25th. Man 26. Dre, if we weren't friends, I'd shoot you. If you weren't a regular here, I might have shot you. We gotta keep a high IQ in the chat. We gotta keep a high IQ in the chat. Like literally, I started the stream. Not even 5 minutes into the stream, I had to shoot somebody because he tried asking me if I wanted to buy followers. I told him no, but he can buy these bullets. It became a statistic. I can shoot him. Nah, Nia. Not right now. You know. Step out, spoiler house. Hey yo. But yeah, Sonic Racing Crossroads is one of those games like I will spend $70 on, unfortunately. Cause while it is a bit much, I do enjoy playing games with my friends. And it is another game my future wife would like to play. So hey, that's something we could spend time playing with each other. Which is another reason why I think Split Fiction also happens to sell so well. Because they've built upon and improved upon everything they have with It Takes Two and have made that game so much better. So much better. It's fun hanging out, having a great day. Thank you so much, Bonk. I appreciate you for coming through. Barrels at the ready, Nia, man. But yeah, Crossroads is out. We have so many different games coming out just this year alone. Blueprints, almost forgot about that. That's a really popular puzzle game people are looking at. Yeah, but people are saying Sonic Racing Crossroads is a lot more fun than Mario Kart. And also, it's a lot more different. It's on a lot more different platforms, and it's crossplay. That'll be there. Death Stranding 2 release, so you know everybody who loves Hideo Kojima, they're gonna be there. Ninja Gaiden 4 is coming out. Dynasty Warriors Origins, if you're a Dynasty Warrior fan such as myself, I picked that up. It was very fun. Will it be in the Game of the Year conversation? I doubt it, but I had a good time with it. But man, like, there's so many games coming out. Ghost of Yote, people are playing it right now. So it's understandable if people start to feel like your game is a chore and like your game is not fun. They will go play one of these other great games that's come out just this year alone. How can you say gaming is dead when we're eating right now? But speaking of games, remasters and comebacks, we have one last article of the day and the fact that Prototype may be getting remade. At the very least, a remaster. Because there's been an increasing amount of interest in people talking about games like Prototype, games like Infamous, which if you didn't play those games, I'm sorry, but you had to be there. You had to be there. Those games were something special to be experienced. Like we have not gotten another game like Prototype or Infamous in the last couple of console generations. I think the closest things we've gotten are like the Spider-Man games. And maybe if you've been keeping up with that indie game, Undefeatable, maybe those. Maybe some, 16-year-old in Roblox playing Roblox has made it in their mom's basement. That's been about it. But yeah, since GTA got the release date pushed that game a year back, we've been seeing a lot more games drop this year. But this is due to a surprise Steam update that people are theorizing we might be getting a remaster for Prototype, which this game came out 16 years ago. And unfortunately broke a lot of the mods, making the game playable on modern systems. But this might be good news. This game was great. This game was ahead of its time. So Prototype was a landmark release in video games. Sweatshirts featuring permanently hooded, perpetually grumpy man harboring a mutagenic virus and powerful 2009 era angst. This man, Alex Mercer, walked so Kyle Crane and Dying Like the Beast could run. Admittedly, I'd be pretty cheesed off if I was left filled to the brim with bioweaponry against my will until my last nasty meat tentacles. I'm so glad J.Deep sent the redeem earlier. I hope he's not hearing this right now. Because look at what they got me saying, bro. Look at what they have me saying. Nasty meat tentacles? What? Can he say that? Granted, this is why it's so important to have journalism and other aspects of the industry filled with human beings, because a robot would not have wrote this. But all the life's troubles seem small when your meat tentacles can fling helicopters around. The higher powers that Activision never saw fit to grant Prototype in a sequel any further follow-ups, leaving the series to live on solely in a brief recollections of kicking enemies in a low Earth orbit. Until this last week, that is. 24 hours ago, Prototype and Prototype 2 both received unprompted Steam updates, each around 600 megabytes. Neither update was accompanied by any patch notes or Steam news posts explaining what changed. The most obvious effect, however, was breaking everything for anyone who was still playing Prototype. And yes, there are still people who are playing Prototype to this day, either through emulators, allegedly. or, you know, like they did modding the games to perform better on modern hardware. But playing the game on modern systems all but requires mods like Prototype Fix to fix persistent crashes and hardware compatibility issues. Because we live in a cruel world, those surprise shadow updates left Prototype Fix busted. And this is one of the biggest things the Stop Killing Games movement was talking about. Games like Prototype and Infamous not being lost or forgotten in time and being left playable in some way, shape, or form for people to enjoy. But luckily, the mod's creator quickly deployed an update so devotees of Alex Mercer and his horrible body didn't have to endure any prolonged suffering. Those updates did more than just annoy roughly 100 people worldwide, however. They also included what could be an indication that there's a Prototype remaster being cooked up.
J.Deep says, meat tentacles, you say? You had me at meat. But if you possess said tentacles, I'd love to meet them. See what I did there?
I had to get out. I had to get out. I had to get out. I had to run. Oh no. Oh yeah, this chair, this is a one of the ergonomic chairs I got recently because I like mesh chairs, right? Like this would be a nice segue to talking about something else. Yeah, so any chair you get, a lot of these gaming chairs end up tending to be, oh yeah, right, the camera's following me. End up, I'd say leather. Never buy an official gaming chair, right? Because gaming chairs, a lot of the times they will try and get you with the branding. They'll try and get you to overpay just for the branding itself, just for the fact that they're calling it a gamer chair. Most of the time, if you're paying for a chair that you want quality-wise, let me actually move the camera for you guys. Oops. Oh my God, let me zoom in. If you're wanting a chair that actually does something decent, get you like a mesh chair, because this one has good lumbar support. It breathes so I don't sweat when I'm sitting at the chair, except for when Jay's dropping one of his messages. And it actually is very nice, because if you're someone like me, you're a little on the thicker side. They do have wide bottoms too, and good lumbar support, because I can raise it, I can lower it, I can switch it, and do a lot of more different things with it. But it's a big chair, and the armrests like actually do rotate and change and go back and forth. I did not pay like $500. I didn't pay $600. I didn't pay $1,000. This was at a decent rate. I don't think I paid more than like maybe $4 something for it, if that. But if you're gonna spend your money, like if you're someone who is financially a little more well off than other people, I didn't phrase that right. But if you're someone who has a little bit more money laying around than the average consumer currently in this day and age, the three things you definitely want to spend a lot of money on: a nice bed for sure, a good chair, and a good pair of shoes. Because think about how often you're spending time sitting at your desk, how often you might be spending time on your feet, and how important sleep is. A good pair of shoes will go a long way. A good chair will carry you a long way. A good bed? It's like, we talk about the little things and the little bits of quality of life and just making sure you're starting off each day on the right foot. A good bed might have you going to work maybe being like, oh, so this is what my job is paying for. It might not be so bad. Like, it's one of those, man. Get you a good chair. It will change your life. Yeah, like Rage put me on. Like Rage put me on for a lot of things that I have. So I gotta give him credit for that. Can we clap it up for Rage? We gotta give this man a shout out. Let me give this man his flowers. Let me give this man his flowers. Because I was asking him questions about decent chairs. He's the one who actually helped me find this camera that I'm using now. I gotta give this man his flowers, because he has put me on to a lot of different things. So thank you for that, Rage. I appreciate you, bro. But yeah, like this, I wouldn't have found this if he didn't if I wasn't actually able to pull him to the side, and other people, of course, because I've talked to other people, but Rage was the first one who like heard me talk about this stuff and was actually able to like give me different alternatives and different brands and things of that nature, and like really put me on. But yeah, Shaggy, I appreciate you popping in. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. But yeah, the last part of this article, as you might expect, it didn't take long before modders and data miners started picking apart exactly what changed. If we're looking at the credits here, we're seeing a Ubisoft Connect version, which this is different. Speaking of beds, may I refer to you today, sponsor Helix Sleep. Helix has quality mattresses which guarantee a comfortable night of sleep. Hey, yo. Low-key, let me look into them because so far I found a bed that I want to buy because this old bed just isn't cutting it anymore. And I've been looking at different beds. So if y'all got any good brand recommendations, put a brother on. Let me know. Like I'm never too prideful or too arrogant to ask anybody for any form of help or admit that like I'm not knowledgeable about most things. Like, let's help each other. Like let's that's how you grow. Nobody can do everything by themselves. So like even just improving our quality of lives a little bit. Need W's like that, man. But apparently, as a result of those 600 megabytes, discovering development testing maps that hadn't been in previous versions, while debug maps are always a delight, what's more interesting are the unexpected additions of prototypes credits. But where the credits previously ended, there's now a series of new names and studios. First, there's credits for contributors to a Ubisoft Connect version, which doesn't seem to exist based on my frantic Googling. Next, the credits feature staff from Beanox and Demonware, a pair of Activision support studios. I don't know, mattress stores or money laundering schemes, I don't trust them. I feel that. I've been buying most of my stuff online. Like I got this chair through Amazon and I try to find other alternatives any way I can whenever I'm not ordering through Amazon, because I honestly don't like the idea of one big mega corporation like owning so much and doing everything. Unfortunately, I can't meet its convenience though. Have a robot bed, remote control to move the top and bottom separately, massages ghost bed match. Really? See, again, this man's putting me on already. Let me save that. Taking a photo of the chat so I remember to look at this later. But apparently the real kicker at the end of the updated credits comes Iron Galaxy Studios, which is a studio with wide-ranging history of porting and remastering for PC releases like Spiral the Reignited Trilogy, the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. If I remember correctly, this is also the same studio that made and remastered Killer Instinct. If I look at the games, I believe they also made Rumbleverse before Rumbleverse unfortunately had the cord cut too early. Yeah, Rumbleverse, Extinction, Dive. They made Dive Kick? That's funny. But they made the Switch port for Skyrim. They did the Switch ports for Diablo 3 and Overwatch. The Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, Spyro. The Last of Us Part 1 and 2 PC ports. So they do this. They do this. Darkstalkers Resurrection, so they're in the FGC and they're in remasters. But credit updates for a 16-year-old game obviously fall far short of an official confirmation, but if you're inclined to speculate about a potential prototype remaster, Iron Galaxy's names makes compelling food for thought, and we'll have to wait and see. But you bought the whole set direct from Ghostbed? Gotcha. I'll keep that in mind, Rage, thank you. But that's going to wrap up all our gaming news for the day, and now we're actually going to get into playing the game, which I've been drinking a lot of water, so I gotta actually run to the bathroom. I will be back in like 5 minutes. And then we'll actually get into playing Dying Light. But give me a quick second, y'all.
Alarm. Tsunami integrity has been breached. Scanning for virus. Viral entity identified. Joker. Viral removal program initiated.
What happens when a game becomes real and none of the rules apply? For a young sorcerer named Tsukasa, the virtual world of the game has become his reality.
Where am I?
Inside, Tsukasa can fight, make friends, feel pain.
Tsukasa.
The only thing he can't do is log out. Enter the world of God Hack Sign, premiering Saturday, February 1st at 3.
Let me go!
Hate the game, not the player.
I mean it.
Only Toonami.
This place is a town of forgetfulness.
40 years ago, everything we knew was destroyed. The face of the planet changed forever.
There isn't anyone who really knows exactly what did happen.
The survivors left without memories. In the aftermath, a new society is formed.
I perform a much-needed job here in the city of amnesia.
In Paradigm City, the rich close themselves into giant domes, while the poor must live without protection. But one man stands for something more, and he does it in serious style.
As a professional, I just try to do my best.
His name is Roger Smith, the negotiator.
Try this. Goes against my principles, but I don't have a choice.
His allies, an android, a butler, and Big O.
It's showtime!
When they start a job, they always see it through.
Rest in peace! Bye-bye!
Enemies of Paradigm City, beware. There's a new robot on the block.
You're not going anywhere! Crazy little fool, you're gonna get yourself killed! Time to finish this!
Big O, starting Monday, April 2nd at 5:30. Good guys still wear black. Only Toonami.
Hey there, it's your old pal Tom. Got some big news, but let's get the big guy to help me out.
Get ready. Playtime is over for you girls. Starting March 17th, Toonami's got the new deal.
Let's do it.
New Tom, new Absolution, new shows, same old goodness. The battle begins with G Gundam at 5.
I've seen that technique.
5:30. All new Dragon Ball Z.
What I represent can never be destroyed.
6. The Spirit Detective Yu Yu Hakusho. And at 6:30, the premiere of The Wandering Samurai, Rurouni Kenshin.
So the true battle finally begins.
Ooh, it's so sweet.
He always makes it sound so good. Hey, don't forget to log on to Toonami.com and check the exclusive online comic and find out how I got this new look. It's a bit of a tale. See you March 17th. Later.
I'm gonna make sure that we capture every one of those cards.
For Sakura Avalon, life was all boys and schoolwork.
Does everyone know what their assignments are?
But an ancient book in the basement has changed everything.
You gotta expect things when you least expect them.
When the cloud book opened, the world felt its fury. Now, Sakura and her friends must defeat the cloud cards one by one before they destroy the world. The greatest sorcerer on the planet is a 10-year-old girl, and the only thing scarier than battling the cards is doing her homework. These are the Guardians of Earth. Card Captors, Monday, June 4th at 5. It's all in the cards.
You are a card captor now.
Kids love it. In the year 2039, Gotham City has no heroes. Its people, no hope. Its youth, no future.
Evening, boys and girls. What's up for some laughs?
Terry McGinnis was part of the problem.
You can't control your temper, and you're better if you expect to get anywhere in life.
Yeah, I'll be a big success, just like you.
Until a moment of violence brought him to the door of a man named Bruce Wayne.
Let's put a smile on his face.
Leave him alone. Once known as the Batman.
Man, you're something. You okay?
Now, the Dark Knight will rise again to drive the shadow of evil from the streets of Gotham.
Let's go.
Supervillains, beware. There's a new Batman in town. Batman Beyond. Weeknights at 6:30.
You're pretty strong for some clown who thinks he's Batman. I am Batman.
Justice returns to Gotham.
Welcome to my world.
Only Toonami. In an effort to dominate robotic warfare, The secret organization, Black Ghost, has transformed these 9 humans into cybernetic soldiers. The problem is, nobody asked them.
We were kidnapped off the street so you could remodel us.
There's no escape. Surrender to your fate.
Cyborg 009, starting Monday, June 30th at 6.
How did I do all this?
Being a human ain't all that.
They came and kidnapped Gohan.
They would steal a child for the key to immortality. But now they must face his father, Goku.
Where's Gohan? You can't fit it
In the siege of his son. Pray for those who took him. The battle for our planet begins again. Jet Cell, Freddy, Descent, at 6. Only Toonami.
The Eternal Dragon has granted a wish that could destroy the Earth. After half a century of imprisonment, Dr. Willow is free. Only his evil brain has survived.
Who is the strongest fighter in the world?
To take over the planet, he needs the perfect vessel for his brilliant mind.
You're crazy if you think I'm gonna let you get your hands on my brain.
Your body belongs to me.
He needs the world's strongest fighter. Goku's gonna give it to him.
I know he's still alive. Even after all of that? Go and attack the intruder.
Toonami presents a special 1-hour Dragon Ball Z movie, The World's Strongest. Next. Only Toonami. From the deepest reaches of space, some darkness approaching. The ultimate enemy has arrived. I have a bad...
Okay. Oof. All right. Let me turn on the PS5. But yeah, I hope you guys came away from that a little more well-informed and in the know about gaming news and stuff like that. I try to like cover different topics I think people will be interested, as well as like stuff I find interesting. Kind of like trying to hit that nice blend between the two. Because some stuff that'll happen and I'll just see some articles and I'm like, well, I don't see why we're talking about this. I think it's just important, like if you're passionate about something, to just know a little more about it. That being said, let me actually switch things over. Make a few adjustments before we actually boot the game up. Okay. Let me actually switch this here. This game has been mad fun. I just gotta get through it. Drop kick time, baby. Yeah, I'm glad you know. I've been doing some side quests off whenever I'm not streaming just to get a little stronger. So that's been interesting.
The intel I found on the Baron led me to an old factory where they were experimenting on chimeras. Looks like they're using some kind of gas to control them. I tracked one down, killed it, and injected myself again. Fucked up as it is, I have to admit. I do feel better. Stronger, sharper. I just hope Olivia knows what she's doing.
I do like that the game gives you a recap though, so I don't have to like recap as much, but like, yeah, as he said, if you guys weren't here the last time or just need any background or information about the game, Kyle Crane was tortured for 13 years and had some experiments done on him. And he's trying to basically get better again so he can go back and take vengeance on the person who did torture him and also alleviate the people who are going through these issues and struggles with his men. His name is the Baron. where he goes by the Baron. I wish I had more inventory slots. I think I'll exchange out this hammer for a shotgun. Why not, right? This was originally intended to be a Dying Light 2 DLC. I'm so glad it went on to be developed into its full game. Ooh. So I have a pistol, a shotgun, a submachine gun, a bow. I've got nothing good planned. But dang, all these other weapons are still so good. And I still have these rewards. Do I have any other outfits? Can we craft anything? I have so much but so little at the same time. Can we talk to you, Yellow Deal?
Hey, got a question for you. You know what?
Okay. Okay, so we can either contact the sheriff or we go do the sheriff. Well, not let me. I said let me go do the sheriff. I didn't mean to say that. Slipping up already.
Sheriff, do you copy? Just wondering if you have new intel on the Baron's activity.
Good timing. As a matter of fact, I just talked to
Got any fuel in here?
He saw the Baron's men near
Nothing.
Don't know the details, but it looks like something big's going down. I'm heading over now.
I'll meet you there.
Let me know when you're close.
This one's for you, Dre. Forgot where I'm going. Oh, was that the end of the mission? What? What's to say? Oh my god, that's far. How far is that? Oh, we're going into the woods. By God, that zombie had a family, Jerry. Oh no. That used to be some of my favorite things about WWE is the commentary. I think people don't give those commentators a... Oh, these are zombies. These are not people. I don't think people give commentators enough credit in like what they do and the things they elevate and what they make better. Because there is footage of like football games and things before commentators were around where it was literally just the game being aired and no one was saying anything, no one was discussing anything. It really can elevate what you're witnessing and what you're seeing. Having someone convey that emotion and what they're experiencing and what you might be experiencing is an important skill that not everybody has. Which is why commentators and shoutcasters are paid so much.
The Baron is experimenting with something that makes the infected even more aggressive. So, watch yourself out there.
Because I can definitely tell you no wrestling promotion would be what it is without the commentators, of course, on top of the performers and everybody. Because imagine, like, you're listening to the commentary.
I'm about to enter the forest. Where can I find the Yaga?
Her tracks led to a wrecked car. Something probably spooked the driver. Those hags can be scary as hell. Remember, she hunts only at night.
Sheriff, you copy? I'm on my way.
Get to the parking lot. From there, you'll need to follow a climbing path.
I just want some fuel, please.
I'm at the top, keeping an eye on the mine. Baron.
Oh, I'm sorry, what? What just happened? Where did y'all come from?
Keep watch, I'm almost there.
Oh, hey, yo, why is he so fast? This man must work out.
Olivia, I'm heading to the mine. I don't know what's going on, but the Baron's here, in person.
What do you plan to do?
What do you think? After what he put me through, he's a dead man.
Go get him, Tiger.
No, I'm done being careful.
That zombie's over there minding his own business. Hey, yo, y'all got to be the worst zombies. Oh my God. It's hard to find good help these days.
Say goodbye, Crane.
You there. Get in there. Go after him. Go get it.
You looking for a fight? Yeah.
One of your homies appears to be approaching too. Go get him.
Fucking bastards.
Jesus, these got to be the weakest zombies I've ever seen in my life.
Disgusting.
Drown, please. No, he knows how to swim. How far are these guys gonna chase me? Jesus, they want me so bad. Never been heavily desired like this. No. There's a human behind you. There's a human behind you. Oh, no, what'd I say? There you go. Just had to punch him in the mouth before he got it. If you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself, I guess. That still hit me? Crazy. Some Gatorade won't fix. He blocked my drop kick? All right. I'm wasting too many resources. I'm sorry. You forced me to do this. Who else needs that? I'm leaving him alive because somebody's about to take care of these infected for me. I should have done that like a year ago. Yo, he's just no, he's just no. Now you die. You left me here with these zombies. Mama ain't raised one. Mama ain't raised one. I have no idea where I'm supposed to be going. Oh my God, look at his face. Did I do that? What am I next to? What are they pinging me for? Man, you see it? He's just taking sips. Oh, there's a car back here. There's a car up here. Oh, the map is actually getting... That's pretty cool, actually. That's actually pretty gnarly. Oh, I've been out here before? I guess I'm gonna restore the power. Why not, right? Can't believe he made me shoot him. Y'all saw that, right? Like, I was defending myself. He made me pull out the gun. I can't choke him. Well, man's just getting his protein macros in. I'm gonna leave him be. Oh, whoa, whoa. I think I told you, spitters and quitters. Got something for people like you. He is wearing armor. Not the smartest idea. survivor has died. I don't even know who that is. Oh, there's a lot of zombies over here now. Nope, 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 nope. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. How much like liquid is in this drink, man? This can't be the same bottle. All right. That sound design. Oh! I was wondering why the breathing sounded so close all of a sudden. Kicked his butt so hard he died. All right, let there be light. I'm going somewhere. I'll go over here. And then we'll go right back to the mission. I need more safe zones because if volatiles ever come out, I need somewhere to be. Those guys are not friendly, contrary to popular belief. Oh, what? What? That's crazy. We just swim across this water. This has got to feel so nasty. Protein, creatine, electrolytes. Oh no.
Pietro, I reset some of the other substations.
Thanks, Kai. We owe you one. More than one.
All right, this is a level 11 area. I'm only like level 6, but that's okay. That's fine. Just gotta get up here. Okay. Just can't let anything here touch me. Oh. Oh, that's so scary. Where do we go from here? Okay. Better not be a zombie up here. Okay, cool. A collapsible ladder in like this time period in this area is such a smart thing to do. Something's screaming in the distance. I don't want to be here. Oh, give me that. Now my items will lose less durability. Ooh, I need that. Head stomp enemies laying on the ground. All right. Now we go back here. Excuse me. Wait, where's the car? I'm not too far from here, but if I keep going this direction, I'll just... Yeah, let me get out of here. Let me just help you out, sir. You look a lot of loss. Oh my god. He ain't gonna be in Rush Hour 3.
Sheriff, I'm at the parking lot.
Hope you're up for a climb.
I don't know what he thought he was about to do. Something wild this game does is that sometimes there's zombies in these trunks, which I didn't think this game would do, but it does. Mainly in the trucks, though. Upsy daisy. Feels like sometimes he's just gliding up the mountain in ledges. Do they just need me to climb up to the top here? I feel like I've done this before. The grip strength required for this is insane. I couldn't imagine doing this. Whoa. Jump. Whoa, Crane, please. How did he miss that? The only thing about this game I don't understand sometimes is like you'll have the ledge in your field of view. You'll reach out, you'll feel yourself grabbing it, and then he just won't. I was afraid they're gonna put. No, they did. I was literally saying I was afraid they're gonna put a zombie in front of me. I hate them. You're going for a trip. Can't believe they did that. Oh, well, this is just nice. Imagine thinking this is like a nice little spot out of the way to up. How did y'all even get up here? Y'all gotta be paid actors. I'm not wasting weapon durability on y'all. Right this way, sir. Yeah. I'm looking at these bushes all shifty now. I thought I was playing Dying Light. Now I'm peeking every corner like a siege. And the music wants to have the audacity to be all over the place. Sound design so good. Man, I hope, man. I be trying to activate the nervous system back in these zombies again. Y'all see what happened to Steve? I be drop kicking zombies off the mountain and be looking at the other ones like, who else need that? I'm just looking around now to see if there's anything else I might have missed. It's like there's like a whole little ecosystem up here. There better not be a zombie in this water. Whoa! Why do you... I'm sorry? I can't have been the only one like noticing this keeps happening. Where he just sinks to the bottom. I don't know if it's because I'm sprinting when I go into the water or what. Maybe that's it. I stopped for a second because I thought I heard a zombie. If I run really fast, they can't catch me. Okay. How would I make this gap? I guess I have to go through over here. I know there's an item right here. Can I grab it though? Oh, we're just putting our hands in a hive. The bees don't mind. This is Far Cry. Those bees would have been stinging the hell out of me. All right. The game put the jump here, so I'm assuming I can make it. Okay. Sometimes I don't trust it. Sometimes you'll have jumps where it looks like you can make them, and then you're eating asphalt, and you just die. Okay, cool. No more ambushes.
Here.
What's the situation?
When I first got here, I saw red smoke coming out of the mine. More and more squads keep going inside. I think they're hunting something in there.
Give me 1 second. I gotta grab this DoorDash. Be right back.
Alarm. Tsunami integrity has been breached. Scanning for virus. Viral entity identified. Joker. Viral removal program initiated.
What happens when a game becomes real and none of the rules apply? For a young sorcerer named Tsukasa, the virtual world of the game has become his reality.
Where am I?
Inside, Tsukasa can fight, make friends, feel pain.
Tsukasa.
The only thing he can't do is log out. Enter the world of God Hack Sign, premiering Saturday, February 1st at 3.
Let me go!
Hate the game, not the player.
I mean,
Only Toonami.
This place is a town of forgetfulness.
40 years ago, everything we knew was destroyed. The face of the planet changed forever.
There isn't anyone who really knows exactly what did happen.
The survivors left without memories. In the aftermath, a new society is formed.
I perform a much-needed job here in the city of amnesia.
In Paradigm City, the rich close themselves into giant domes, while the poor must live without protection. But one man stands for something more, and he does it in serious style.
As a professional, I just try to do my best.
His name is Roger Smith, the negotiator.
Try this. Goes against my principles, but I don't have a choice.
His allies, an android, a butler,
Leave this up to me.
and Big O.
It's showtime.
When they start a job, they always see it through.
Rest in peace. Bye-bye.
Enemies of Paradigm City, beware. There's a new robot on the block.
You're not going anywhere. You crazy little fool. You're gonna get yourself killed. Time to finish this.
Stay here if we do.
That's it. Once and for all.
Big O, starting Monday, April 2nd at 5:30. Good guys still wear black. Only Toonami.
Hey there, it's your old pal Tom. Got some big news, but let's get the big guy to help me out.
Get ready.
Playtime is over for you girls.
Starting March 17th, Toonami's got the new deal.
Let's do it.
New Tom, new Absolution, new shows. Same old goodness. The battle begins with G Gundam at 5.
I've seen that technique.
5:30. All new Dragon Ball Z.
What I represent can never be destroyed.
6. The Spirit Detective Yu Yu Hakusho. And at 6:30, the premiere of The Wandering Samurai, Rurouni Kenshin.
Okay.
And you saw the Baron.
Yeah, he went in with them.
Man's having a little bit of difficulty finding out where he was.
I've been waiting a long time for this.
What do you mean?
About to run home like you're like, thank you so much, Dre.
Can you cover me?
I can cover you until you enter the mine. After that, you're on your own.
Fair enough. Olivia,
I'm here.
I'm heading for him now. He will not get away from me.
You're stronger than you were, but are you sure you're really ready?
Today he pays for everything he did to me.
Let's see how good the stealth is in this game and how good I am at stealth.
That murderous fucker's mine.
You know me, if you ever see me play Hitman, nobody ever sees me. Because there's never any witnesses left alive to say that they did. That sound design is interesting. I wish you could lean. I'm hoping we have victim number 1 right here. Let me wait. Can I craft anything from the bow? Oh, we still have arrows. Yeah. Been so focused on beating people to death, I forgot I had a bow. Don't fight it, just let it happen. Oh, come on. I can't climb up like that.
Nothing is moving.
There's no way.
Got eyes on something. Take cover.
He sends the disturbance in the forest.
Oh, shit.
Somebody saw me? Well, it was nice while it lasted. Bruh. Oh my god. Where's his body at? Man, Kyle really is just taking drinks. Oh, that wasn't so bad. What else y'all got in here for me? Nothing. This is like a whole military outpost right now, and they have no ammo, no backups. I don't imagine this is gonna bode well for us at all.
Hear that? It's fucking happening.
We should be getting hazard pay for this.
Triple pay. This is fucking crazy.
Want to put that to us when we're dead?
We both still have 3. Actually, maybe I could keep the bow. I need faster weapons, so we'll use this reinforced hatchet. Pistol and the bow. Trying to find like every little resource that I can. Nice. That's gotta suck.
I think I'm coming down with something. Oh, where'd that come from?
What?
Something flashed. He's too quick!
I didn't want to do that. That's gotta suck. Hope I'm all feral now. I feel so sorry for this guy. No way, no way, no way.
Don't get me at all.
Got some for you, sir. Keep accidentally quick turning when I do that. I was gonna say there's zombies in here. I think one thing I probably could have done is like, what, destroy the UV light and then let the zombies in? I'm not trying to waste the slightest bit of loot. Oh yeah, this is literally where I came in from. Oh, interesting. I think if they just sit here long enough, they just die. Get back in there. Get back in there. Thank you. Whoa. He got one head off and just died. This is crazy. Oh my god. Definitely want to make a few of these. These brass knuckles are so rewarding. How did y'all end up outside the door? What? Need everything y'all got. Oh my god. That'll never get old. Cause he's really putting hands on these zombies. Is there anything else back there before I go forward? Well, clearly I could have gone either way, I see now. Guess we're climbing. It's gonna get dark. Okay. I know a zombie that's not dead when I see one. Yep, nah, come here. A few more zombies that aren't dead for real. All right. How far back is the water? I don't feel like quite waiting that long. I don't feel like wasting the ammo either. Ooh. Maybe I should have used this weapon earlier. That patch they added to make zombies grab you less was actually working. Because man, that was so annoying. Trying to do power attacks and getting grabbed every 5 seconds. Whoa! Man, I tried to get way too handsy. Nope, stay down. Nope, stay down. Nope, stay dead. Stay dead. Stay dead. Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. Something big's next to me. Oh. I'm sorry. Oh my god. That wasn't part of the deal. Why do y'all have that back here? I gotta take y'all out, so it'll just be him and I. Oh yeah, now I want it. Now I want a piece. Oh my god. The zombies saw me do all that and was like, nah, those zombies weren't me. I could take you. I could take you out. I don't do anything for free. I need my loot for killing those zombies. Okay. How many of those drinks do I have? Is this a bug where I just got like infinite drinks? That could have been bad. I could have died right there. Please don't be a zombie back here. Okay, cool. Hey, yo, are you okay? Guess we're going up. Really gotta ask, what are zombies doing this deep in the cave, bro?
Fucking told you. We got him.
I'll be honest, I had my doubts.
Probably didn't know what hit him.
Every time I think I don't need the bow and arrow.
Subject Beta, back where he belongs.
Hold your ground.
Whoa. I don't know how the last one missed. They're giving me a lot of tools. We're gonna end up getting in a gunfight. There's like never anything in these boxes. Oh, so now everybody just automatically knows where I am? I hate it. You don't want this. I tried to tell him. Why'd you have to turn me into a murderer? Okay. Catch. Oh, you survived that? Man's got some type of super soldiers on his payroll. Just looting as much as possible. Just gotta be shit, right? I'm not beating the Loot Goblin allegations. Playing the way I'm playing right now. I need that. Need that too. Oh, that was everybody? That was light work. Feels way too easy. I don't like how that sounded at all. Not at all. Oh, Subject Beta, the guy who was murdering folks earlier in the game. I guess we're gonna free him and find out what happens.
Sheriff, I'm in the main hall. I've seen a shit ton of his troops, but no sign of the Baron. Sheriff, you copy?
Yep. And I'm sorry, Kyle, but I need to protect my people.
What are we doing?
Fuck.
I knew it felt too easy.
Kyle. I have to admire your fortitude. You just don't give up. I hope you enjoyed your brief taste of freedom. Let's call it a field test, shall we?
Are you gonna tell me why you turned me into a lab rat? Why you tortured me for all those years?
I'm building the future, Kyle. But your role in that grand experiment has come to an end.
Fucking lunatic.
True genius is often mistaken for insanity by those of inferior intelligence.
So now you found someone new to torture.
He is the perfect subject, Kyle. He is the future, and you, I'm afraid, are the past.
Future, huh?
Free him. There we go.
Hold your fire, idiots! I need him alive! Run! Damn it, I need him alive! But you, Crane, I need dead!
Oh. Yeah.
Me.
They had him eating out a doggy bowl? Crazy.
Get the fuck out of here.
I just get turned around. I feel like I just got turned around. I'm not sure though, so I'm gonna keep going this way. Bad we didn't get taken back in the cup. All right, we got some friends in the cave with us. Nice little expedition we have going on here.
Oh no.
No, I can't make any decoys. Excuse me, fine sir. I'm booking it for the door. My God.
Sheriff, do you copy? Do you hear me?
Oh my God. You're alive.
Yeah, and I'm coming for you.
I'm sorry, Kyle, but I had no choice. It was either that or...
Olivia.
This zombie looks so skinny.
Kyle, finally. I've been trying to reach you. What happened?
The sheriff.
Let me just adjust a few things here.
Led me into a trap. She's working with the Baron.
Oh my God.
I'm heading to the town hall now to confront her.
Are you okay?
No. You were right. I wasn't ready. I need to find those other chimeras.
I'll pour over the research and see if I can find the rest.
That's crazy. I wish the sheriff would have played that smarter. But yeah, that all felt too easy. I was like, there's no way this is the final confrontation. I don't even know what the Baron looks like yet. Get bitten. I like the music playing. Gotta be a car nearby, right? So smart. Now that I've said that, I'm about to do something extremely dumb. Oh no, I've already got news. Excuse me. Excuse me. Revenge. Gotta kill some people. I'm sure you understand. I want to check for fuel. I need to check for fuel. Nothing. Nothing there either. Anything in here? Hey, fuel. Worth. Alright, there you go in there. I heard gunshots. Well, well, well. That was free. Rattle them, boys.
Wait, there you go.
I don't know who he thought he was running up on like that. Yeah, stun lock him, stun lock him. But that didn't last long. Alright, now we can go back. I heard gunfire, which meant free ammo or free loot. I hope this doesn't come down to like a battle of the death between me and Subject Beta. I hope he's like, he ends up becoming sentient too. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna result in either one of us dying or both of us dying. Unfortunately, I don't think they would do the whole thing where they're like, oh, you know, you have two beasts running around, and then you both team up to take down the Baron, and then everybody goes to separate ways.
Yes! Target evading! I'm watching you.
Oh, they're just protecting the turf.
Breathe. Hands up. Stay back.
You know what?
Don't test me. I'm warning you. For you!
Oh. That's crazy.
Find some cover. Let's see what. You're mine.
There we go. Don't tell me he's gonna go this easy. Oh my god, he's piecing him up. Get a reward for the winner right here. Oh. Why'd I waste time crafting a bow and arrow if I could have just taken it off of you? Oh, and he had 5 arrows. The one thing I wish more games would copy to have a lockpick system is like the ability to brute force locks for the percentage chance of breaking out lockpicks. I don't like the saber, but I need to use it more often. I don't know if I want to dismantle it. Guess we can get rid of the crowbar. Are they gonna have me kill everybody in the town hall? I mean, a lot of them had no idea what to do. I hope we just like argue or something. Because I can't believe she just set us up like that. Well, I had a feeling she would, but I was just really hoping that she didn't. Probably not. Oh, yeah, we need to get home soon. About to be nighttime.
It never ends, does it?
The tides are turning, I think.
Where is she, Jacob?
Who?
The sheriff.
She came running in, grabbed a bunch of her stuff, and took off like she was on fire. She's not answering the radio. What is going on?
She knew I was coming for her.
What are you talking about?
So you didn't know?
Know what?
She led me into a trap, Jacob. She made a deal with the Baron.
What?
Said she did it to protect her people. The Baron was waiting to ambush me and she was right there with him. So you didn't know?
No!
Well, you're in charge here now, so I'm giving you fair warning. She is going to pay for what she did to me.
The sheriff was our rock. She's the one who kept us together. There has to be a reason.
Forget about her. She is done. You need to run this place on your own.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
And the plan stays the same.
What plan?
The plan to take out the Baron.
I'm no soldier. The sheriff handled security. You know that.
Then I need you to give me whatever you have on him. Whatever intel you guys have gathered.
We don't have anything on him. But I might know some people who do.
Who?
A group of exiles forced out by the sheriff. She never wanted us to speak of them or contact them. But I always kept a connection open. I couldn't just abandon them.
Who are they?
They are the infected ones. Some were fugitives from the Baron's lab that the sheriff wouldn't let in.
Where'd they go?
They banded together to form a community high in the mountains. They are all infected. But they've halted their progression with an infusion made from a rare strain of mushrooms. I never wanted to push them out. But if we wanted the sheriff's protection...
Reach out to them.
I'll make contact and let you know.
Good.
This is crazy. I think, unfortunately, that's where I'm going to have to wrap up things today. I don't really have the time to keep going forward as much as I would want. This is fun. I'm definitely looking forward to getting through more of the story, finding out what happens from here.
Without McCallum, job remains the same.
But I wanted to say thank you to everybody who showed up and stopped by for not only the gaming news, but also to see me play Dying Light, and just anybody who may be lurking in the background. I really appreciate all you guys for that. Definitely a shout out to Dre, Rage, Jay, Dana, Shaggy, Nia. Tony was here earlier as well. Bonka Owl. Anybody else who may be in the background, really appreciate it. Really appreciate the love, the support. Means a lot. Anybody who may be also on the YouTube side, thankful for that as well. But that's where we're going to be wrapping things up. Right now, I'm just going to be looking for somebody to raid. See who's live right now that we can show some love to. There's a lot of gaming news to get to today. That's why I wasn't sure how much I would be able to play a Dying Light the Beast, but I'm glad we got to play the game at least a little bit. I guess let's give Yuko a raid, actually. I believe she's playing Monster Hunter Wild. She does cosplays from time to time and also plays a large variety of different games. So if y'all could show her some love, would highly appreciate that. I'll see you guys Friday. Don't know if we'll be playing more Dying Light, maybe something else, but probably more Dying Light since I didn't really get a chance to play it much today. And I kind of want to push forward through with the game. That all being said, though, hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. Hope you guys have a wonderful day and a night. You're all wonderful people.